be there.
He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk to the limit.
Woo.
He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk to the limit. He'll be there. Do whatever. Do the walk to the limit, to the wall. He gave it all for you. He gladly risked it all. Do the walk, whatever come what may. For His love so great for you, He died on Calvary, right down to the wire, even through the fire.
Man, I'm finna do my thing. It's crazy in the club when I'm in there, man.
Get up.
Trust me, homie, I'm not playing. I had a dance floor off the chain. I said,
Get up.
I came to bring you that California love and a little New York hate. It's all of the above. I'm not playing, I'm saying I'm off the chain. You better follow instructions. I said,
Get
I
up.
bow to I fall. I stunt till I drop 'em off the showroom floor, not the used car lot. You buy a bottle, I buy the bar. I make any other week feel like Mardi Gras. When I get into it, I get into it. Everybody can't do it the way I do it. I make it rain, then the sun come out. Plain, we make the come out now. My question is who they gon' blame when I'm at number one on the Billboard again? Shift now, the game done changed since Mike made Thriller and Prince made Purple Rain. I guess I made the kids once and NWA made the West Coast bang. Nah, it's just music, man, it's just music. Now get your on the dance floor and move it. I have the savoir-faire, I'm the reason everybody here. I say
Get up.
I make it hot in here. Your feet hurting, I really don't care. I say
Get up.
I wanna see you move and get all into the groove. I say
Get up.
I'm getting money, man, I really don't care. Let me see you put your hands in the air. I say you
Get
look
up.
good. I won't get to know you better. You look good in them jeans and them red stilettos. You got a Bentley coupe, baby, I wanna drive. See and tell you what your mileage is when I'm out. I wanna take you for a spin, you know, round and round. Switch gears till your love come down. I take you to the point of no return. If you listen, you learn just how it earn. I got money to burn. Why they can't bid, drop the bomb on me. It's up and down gracefully. Rick James would've said shit, brick house. A 50 you should go on and see what that about. I find out she like it, how I like it, huh? Back it up, get you some. I know how to get you. Tune you up, use your tongue. Under the hood, it's so good. She said so good. Damn, I'm so hood. What up? I have the savoir-faire. I'm the reason everybody here. I say,
get up.
I make it hot in here. Your feet hurting, I really don't care. I say,
get up.
I wanna see you move and get all into the groove. I say,
get up.
I'm getting money, man, I really don't care. Let me see you put your hands in the air. I say,
get up.
And get into it. You're now rocking with the unit. I say,
get up.
And get into it. We're gonna show you just how we do it. I say,
get up.
Aftermath, still shady aftermath. I say,
get up.
Aftermath, still shady aftermath.
Let's get a mic check going. My voice is up. Excuse me. Let's get to it, man. Right to it. I'm late. I know I'm late. I am not drinking tea today, twin. I am drinking water. You know, I shouldn't give this company an advertisement, but I will. Maybe it'll turn into something. What's going on, John Ludd? What's good with everyone? Tim, you know how I feel about Notre Dame. So, I mean, they didn't make it. It is what it is. I'm drinking water, but I'm drinking flavored water. I'm gonna give this company some love because I've been drinking it for a while and it's been working out. Can everybody hear me okay before I go on? And I don't want to be talking to the cloud. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. I don't want to be talking to the cloud. Are we good here? Because I just came in, I just hit the power button and we're off to the races. So are we good? Let me know, YouTube. Let me know, Facebook. Let me know, X. Let me know wherever you are. Let me know that you're here. I've never been a guy who drunk water. I always drunk things like Kool-Aid, tea, anything that had water in it, and I considered that to be my water intake. Well, YouTube is good. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you, Steph. Thanks, Preston. Thank you. Twin says we're 100. Thank you on Facebook. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Williams. So I've been drinking this stuff here for. let me pat myself on the back one time. If you ever smoke cigarettes, you ever been addicted to any type of, if you ever smoked crack, if you ever did cocaine and you addicted to these things, I'm not laughing at it, but I understand the addiction because I have an addiction. I have an addiction to sugar. I had always been addicted to sugar ever since I was a little kid. It's just the sugar thing has been my Achilles heel. It's just been a problem for me. So I've never, my kids, you know, once they get in med school, it's like, it's a situation where you can't, they're bugging me to death. They've been bugging me to death since the first bell at school and dad. It doesn't help that I'm getting older and they're right. They say shit to me like words I don't understand. You know what I mean? My nucleus and my flucleus is my blucleus and my cucleus and not nucleus and all this old cucleus shit. I don't know what they're talking about, but they're telling me what soda is doing to me. They're telling me what all these sugar drinks are doing to me. And I'm like, okay, damn it. I had a long run of drinking Coca-Cola when I felt like it, eating steak and potatoes and green beans and getting me a nice iced tea with lemon, sweet tea with lemon. I've had a nice run at that. Think the shit is over with. So I committed not to them. I committed to myself that I would no longer drink soda. I no longer drink tea. For my birthday, I didn't tell you guys this. For my birthday, my family and I went to dinner. Really nice restaurant. I told y'all over the air last time where we went. Went to a really nice restaurant. I had my little juice bottle in my pocket. This is Mayo. Okay. This is a really, it's taken me to an all new level. This is a commercial that I should be charging them for, because I can guarantee you, after people see this on the air right here on Wyatt Live, put it up closer to you. When y'all see this, you're gonna buy some for like $3, $4, a little bottle here. Okay, you're gonna buy it, you're gonna try it, and you'll never drink a tea or Coca-Cola again. It's over. Because what this is water enhancer. I just put 2 squirts, zip, zip, zip in this water bottle, shake it, and I end up with this. I have 2. That's why this looks staged, but it's not. I end up with this. And what it tastes like, to be honest with you guys, it tastes just like Kool-Aid that may not have half the bag of sugar in it. Y'all know that's how we make Kool-Aid. I think I have a picture of me when I was a little boy making Kool-Aid. I don't know if I do, but I sure would like to see if I can find it. Let me see if I have that picture, because it's definitely something that I want to share with everybody. I've had this picture in here for a very long time, and I've never used it because I never really had a reason to use it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, if I can find it, I'll definitely put it up on the air, on the screen. I come from the land of making Kool-Aid with a pitcher and the 5-pound bag of sugar. And my mom would let me make the grape Kool-Aid, the orange Kool-Aid, all the Kool-Aid I would make because I was the only one that drank it, right? And I've been addicted ever since I was a kid to sweet juices, pop, Kool-Aid, all that stuff. All right. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I have it here, guys. I may have to find it and show it to you tomorrow. I'm going through a lot of pictures here. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm getting close to something. Maybe I'm getting close to something here. Maybe, maybe. Let's see here. I'm getting close. It's coming. It's starting to look familiar to me. Um, I think I got it. Oh, wait a minute. I think I got it. Anybody that knows, y'all know it's burning now. I never measured my sugar when I drank Kool-Aid as a kid. You feel me? I would take, y'all know the little scoop thing that come with the sugar. Well, we used to have packs, but we would take one of those little scoop things to go into the bag of sugar, okay, and scoop the sugar. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. It was none of that when I was a kid. I didn't scoop sugar. I poured sugar. As a child, I poured sugar to make my Kool-Aid. I'm going to be honest with you. It looked a lot like this. That's how I fixed my Kool-Aid when I was a little boy. And I know that's common because that shit is from House Party. They did that well after I invented Kool-Aid, damn it. They stole that from me in House Party, the movie. But yeah, that's how I used to make Kool-Aid. Exactly like that. I probably had that same shirt on. Remember when we had that nappy ass hair and we would get apart? That wasn't fixing shit. That wasn't doing nothing. That is me making Kool-Aid at the age of 8 or 9 years old. That is me all day long with a Chewbacca shirt on. That's how I made my Kool-Aid. Just like that. And I've been a problem ever since then. I have absolutely been a sugarhead ever since then. And now I'm new. I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you that I've been sugar-free. Well, not sugar-free, but I've been soda-free, tea-free. I've been those high-level sugar juices and all that old stuff. I haven't had it in probably a month. It's been about 4 weeks. I'm working in my 5th week of not drinking soda and carbonated drinks and stuff like that. This mayo, and I've been debating with people, what do you really call it? Some are calling it Mio, some are calling it Mayo. I call it Mayo because if it had a B in front of it, it would be like bio, biology, bio, B-I-O, but it's M-I-O. So don't come in here talking about it's Mio. It ain't no damn Mio. That's not how you, Mio would be M-E-O, I believe. It wouldn't be M-I-O. Now, if you want to debate it, you can call in and we can debate it. If I have any English teachers, I don't care if the VP of the company call me and say, hey, we named that shit Mayo. I'm reading it as Mayo. Sorry, if they call it Mio, I'm going to say, no, it's Mayo. Just like bio, biology, bio, my biography, bio. So it's Mayo. For me, it's going to be that. But look, this shit is, didn't say that, there went the commercial. This is unbelievably good, yo. I get me a regular 8 ounce. What is this? What fluid? A 16 ounce. Well, you might as well say 17 ounce. 17 ounce bottle of water, right? And I ain't getting nothing now, Mama Birch. I didn't say a bad word. And I give it 2 squirts. Zip it, and then I shake it, and it turns into this right here. Y'all can't really tell, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. Here's what I've been having a problem with juices, with drink mixes like this. They all have this taste like, you know what it's an aftertaste. Excuse me. It's an aftertaste. They all have this taste where, like Diet Coke or Pepsi, it's this that aftertaste that tastes horrible. But this right here does not leave an aftertaste for me. And that's the key to success with me. I've tried them all. I've tried all of them, and they all taste good when you put it in your mouth and it's like, oh, I can handle this. And then you wait about 5 seconds, and here come that chaser of an aftertaste, and it just makes me, it just takes me away. I can't do it. So I just said, shit, I'm gonna die drinking Coca-Cola, Pepsi, sweet tea. I'm gonna die drinking it. I give up. And a friend of mine, she reached out to me and told me to try um it's something IV. Now, see, that shit sounds too medical, but I tried it anyway. She's a good friend of mine. She said, "No, try this. I think it's what is the one that's IV? It's something IV, like an IV, and it's a powder form. And see, that's too much for me. I ain't trying to open up packs and then pour the shit in there, turn and then shake. That's just too much. Liquid IV. Thank you, David Herring. Thanks, DH. That's exactly what it is. Thanks, Scott Bain. Now, here's the thing. I tried it. It tastes good. It didn't have that much of a it didn't have that much of an aftertaste. However, the more I drank it, the more the aftertaste start catching up to me. I drank it for about 2 or 3 days. 3 days at the max. Okay? 3 days at the max. I drank that. And I'm gonna tell y'all, once I found this Mio, folks, they should be paying me for this, because I guarantee you they sales, at least in the Cincinnati area and some of the area, maybe down here in St. Pete. I don't know where you are. Some people come from California, some from Colorado. We got people that watch from all over the planet, to be honest with you. I got some of my buddies that watch that live over in Europe still. Listen, when you try this, you won't go back. You will not go back. Now, here's the only downfall to it. It's no sugar, but what I'm understanding, and I've heard doctors say this, and now y'all know my daughter is in school, so I let her know, and her best friend, one of her best friends, new best friends in school, and I was in public Kroger. I was in public the other day, and I was trying to find, I was getting what I wanted, and there was these two old people that were there, husband and wife, and one of them they both had on Ohio State gear. So that's that's kind of like a talking, you kind of strike up conversation with somebody wearing OSU and they're in Florida. You say, hey, where you from? You from Ohio? And yes, they were from Ohio, and we were all in the same area, and we were looking at the mile. And I was talking to him, and I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever had. And I've tried them. I've tried almost every one that's up on this shelf. And she said, yeah, my doctor recommended it to me because I have to do weight loss. So for all you people that's watching your weight and doing some things like that, this is pretty good for that, according to her doctor. Now, my doctor, which is my daughter at this point, she says to me, there's nothing in it that's bad for you. She said the only thing that's really not, she said the only thing in it, Dad, that you may have a problem with is there's something in, okay, Brenda Burt just put up the ingredients. Thank you, because I can tell you what this is. I'm going to have to sound this one out like a third grader. I got to find it first. It has something in it. I think it might be that sucrose. It's something that starts with an S, and there's only one or two things on here that starts with an S. Be careful of the one that starts with an S, sucrose, something like that. Maybe I should call my daughter and let her say it, y'all. What I found out, the doctors, they all tell you that what that is, it's something, it's an artificial type of flavor that it's not sugar. Yeah, sucrose. I think it's called sucrose. All right. And yeah, sucrose. Sorry, I'm reading something. What that does is it makes you crave sugar. So if I'm not drinking sugar in a Coca-Cola or a Pepsi or whatever, or a sweet tea, that particular ingredients draws you into sugar. It makes you want to, it's a substitute sugar. And what it does is it makes you crave real sugar, or, whatever. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a doctor, but I've heard it from 3 different people, one being in medical school, 2 whose doctor have told them that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that, because now my next step is try to avoid. She broke it down for me. Made by chemical. Okay, it's a sweetener. All right, got you. So now what I have to do is I have to avoid my plain M&Ms. I'm an M&M head as well. It's the one thing that my granny used to bring to me. Yeah, y'all know there's not a day on Wyatt Live. This shows you the love that I grew up with. I think in the last it's been five and a half years we've been on the air. It'll be 6 in March, but who's counting? I don't think I've had a show that I haven't mentioned my family. I don't think there's been one show that I haven't mentioned maybe my mother, my grandmother, somebody in my family, my kids, my wife. I don't know. Can anybody go a day without mentioning their family? It's hard for me. The pivotal people in my life. I don't think I've done a show and not had a conversation, maybe not held a conversation about them, but they've always been part of my conversation somewhere, some way, some kind of shape or form in my conversation. Well, let me bring my grandmother into this conversation. She worked at McAlpin's for 40 years, right? And on those late nights where she would have to catch the number 1, which was I forgot, it was the Queen City or something like that. She would get off the bus and I would meet her downstairs. We lived on the 4th floor. And I got Mama Birch on the phone. Let me get her on the phone, but let me get this, and then I'll finish telling y'all my story. I'm sure this is going to be more interesting than my story. All right. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
This is Mama Birch.
Mama Birch. All these years, and this is the first time you ever called. This is a monumental day.
Right. It might be the last time, because you might not like what I'm going to say.
Oh, I don't want to hear that. What's going on? You about to kill my drink?
I got a pork chop in my pocket. Watch out.
Okay. I can't. My ears are still attached. You know how you used to grab ears back in the day.
Hi, crew. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you.
We all love you. We love you more. We love you more.
So
what's on your mind?
This is why I'm calling.
Okay, go ahead.
Don't cut me off like you do. Try to do the rest of them.
I got to deal with you. If I cut you off, you can find me. So I ain't about to do that. Whatever you say, I got to live with it. And I'm probably gonna agree with you, even if I disagree.
I love you, Randy.
I love you too, man.
Okay, this is my beef right here.
Okay.
I don't know why everybody always associate me with Mr. Mr. is James Lavender.
Oh, did I start that?
Oh, you started it.
I'm sorry.
And I tossed and turned all last night.
I'm sorry.
No, I better call him.
I'm sorry.
I better put him on his damn ass right now.
Okay, let's put it to bed. Let's put it. But you was Miss Parker in the day. You know that, right?
Yeah, right. I said don't cut me off.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead, Ma. Go ahead. I ain't gonna mess with you. Go ahead.
James and I got married when we were 16. Both of us were 16 years old.
Is that the true story, or are you just saying that?
Okay, I'm telling you, it's a true story. So we met in Bloom Junior High.
Okay.
And we got married January 1967.
Damn. Okay.
The marriage was dissolved January 1973.
Okay.
We were only married for 6 years, and 6 of those years I only was with him probably 2 years because he was in jail every year.
Yeah, him and my daddy they probably kicked it.
Okay. So I was his number 1 wife. I was his first wife.
Okay.
And when I divorced him, it was for gross neglect of duty.
Okay, that makes sense.
James, he was in and out of jail every year.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was with him probably 2 years, but his second wife was the best friend of your mother, and you want to talk about some history,
Is that Pam?
Pam Norris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, and I love her like a
Mama, you
sister.
taking me way back. You taking me too
No,
far.
I'm
I've
taking
never
you way
had these.
back.
I've
Okay,
never
because
had these type of
Denise and
conversations.
Pam were best friends. Now, Pam was born in 1952.
Mm-hmm.
Same year your mama was, I think.
You killing me.
Okay. And James and Pam had one kid in 1974.
Yeah, Tracy.
Tina was born in 72. So James and Pam got married right after I divorced him.
Okay.
So during the years, I was busy trying to get an education to provide for my kids. So from 1970 all the way down to 1998, I was working my butt off trying to protect and support my kids. James didn't give me no support whatsoever.
As much money as he was getting on them streets, he wasn't giving you no money.
He was playing in the streets and the females. So all the people out there that was communicating with James or running with him, I'm not a bar girl. I'm not a party girl. You can look at my pictures and tell that.
No,
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
You were. You
was.
was Miss Parker though.
I was.
You would come outside. You would come outside.
Oh yeah, see about the kids. But all in that, I'm just saying.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you trying to tell me, Mama, you didn't go down the night flight?
Nope, I didn't. Well, I went down there one time.
Whoa. See,
one time.
You ain't been to no night flight one damn time. Stop.
On the betting game, and I won. And that's just across the street from where I lived at.
You was keeping this 100 all the way up into Mama, stop.
Listen.
Mom, you didn't go up to Disco 2000.
I'm trying to tell you that you got me confused, and everybody else has me confused with his second wife because he was highly into drugs then.
Okay.
I didn't condone that, Randy.
I know. Mama, I'm about to get
That's
serious.
why I got out of it. I would have been on drugs, dead, or in jail.
I know. The streets was tough back then because men.
So I think a lot of people's all this gossip and hearsay about me. I only did what I had to do for my kids. I wasn't out there in the streets like that.
Nah, I know you wasn't. Listen, I was just playing because
I'm letting everybody else know because I still got haters from Porter Junior High School.
If they don't let that shit go, how you still got a hater from Porter?
I mean, I divorced him. You hear me? And he said he only married the ones that he loved, and that was me and Pam.
I believe that.
Now what they mad at me for, huh?
Well, you know what, Mama Birch, didn't I just say something about that yesterday? You still got people mad at you from the 3rd grade. I wasn't even talking about
I agree with you every time you said it.
Yeah, I'm like, how does somebody be mad at me from the 3rd grade or mad at you from the 3rd grade? That's crazy. But
because
now let me just.
Guy they couldn't have.
Yeah, but see, Mama Birch.
I gave him to him.
Right, Ma, hold on. I'm telling you. All right, I'm saying this as much respect as I possibly can.
I love you, Randy.
I love you too, but I'm gonna tell you, you was a bad one in the neighborhood. Okay, like you was Miss Parker. You was Miss Parker in the neighborhood, so that bring haters.
Hey, I can't help sexy and cute.
Well, look, here's the thing. I was only playing about the night flight because it was right down the street from you. You know what I'm saying?
They used to think me and my sons were brothers and sisters.
I know. You stay looking young. If someone asked you your age right now, they wouldn't believe you. They wouldn't believe you. I seen you.
I shall tell it.
Well, you still look good, and you know what? You represent our neighborhood to the fullest. You produce some really good kids. You looked out for us. You know what I mean?
Well, I did the best I could do being single parent. So.
Well, you know what?
But I didn't take no crap. Let me
ask you a question.
Now, if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. Don't cut me off.
Okay. I promise, Mama, I'm not. I just wanted to ask you a question.
What?
Okay. You said, because I used to call, everybody used to call Mr. Lavender like Lav or Lavender. So,
right.
He was, he was
Bates and all that.
Yeah, them was the dudes back in the day. Do I be lying when I talk about how them guys was ripping and running and making the Callaway shop? And I'm on point when I'm talking like that.
But those are the same ones that tried to holler at me and I ran.
Yeah, I know. But I don't know you ran, but I know they all tried to holler.
Communicate with them.
I know they all tried to holler. But here's my thing.
Shut up, David.
Wait. Here's my thing. I just want to clear something up because you made a point that I've always been talking about on this show. Okay. And I think this is a learning lesson for a lot of us. You said that James was ripping and running the streets, right? And that y'all were married and that you had to get that marriage. What did you say? Annulled or something like that? What did you say?
It was dissolved.
Okay, it was dissolved. So now let me ask you something. Did Law Homes or Lincoln Court? I know you lived in Law Homes, but did those places back in that day tell you that you couldn't have a man living in your house? Did they tell you that, or did it? How?
No.
Okay, they didn't stop James, and I'm gonna call him Mr.
I
Lab.
put James out.
Okay,
He didn't leave, so I had to go.
You put him out, so
he didn't leave, so I had to go.
Okay, so my point is,
Law Homes had nothing to do with that.
They had nothing to do with no man not being in your house. It was your decision.
Yes.
And I'm saying this because of some of the things we talk about here when people talk about the government took men out of our house. No, our men were going to jail. They was choosing that street shit. And see, I'm saying this because you know my daddy. You know.
Well, that was before my time. They might have done that before my time.
Well, you know what? They said it from our era too. When I was a little boy, they talking about from the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. So it's all it's all together. But we all know that dudes was getting in trouble and choosing their own thing. James didn't have to be in the street. He chose the streets. He's a smart dude.
James was born a criminal.
But he was a smart guy. You feel me? He was a smart guy. From
what he had millions of dollars and I didn't get one red cent.
But see, here go the thing. Let's go back to what I was talking about yesterday. God, I love you, and I'm glad this call came. You know, yesterday we were talking about how the drug game. How did we didn't really benefit from that? Now I know I'm not going to count his money, but I'm going to go by what you just said, and I know you're not lying. He's probably touched a couple $1 million in his life.
He didn't. He died broke.
But you see what I'm saying? He touched a couple million.
Crack.
He touched a couple $1 million in his life. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
Okay, so now, what did he get out of that? What did his family? What did you get out of that $2 million?
I didn't get one red cent.
Okay,
and he said
and
I
what
was his
building
downfall.
is out here? This is why I got a problem with the drug game and us thinking, that it, I'm trying to show everybody that I'm from the beginning of showing people we don't get nothing out of it. We end up being told
out there for themselves.
Exactly. Now he probably bought a couple. Now I ain't trying to be funny. You know how they
roll. He had Fleetwood Macs and Go.
Exactly.
Tailor-made clothes.
Exactly.
He was out there with the players.
And he stayed down at the Callaway shop down there, getting hot, getting hair fried, dyed, and laid to the side, and all that old shit. You see what I'm saying?
And getting all his money over there in the Lincoln courts. No.
Well, you know how. Look, you just made my point from yesterday, and you've made my point from the years that I've been talking about all what I've been saying. And God bless you. God bless you. And look. You made it. You raised them boys. And I'm going to tell you, I brag about your sons and your daughters on this show all the time because Big Birch and Darnell, especially Jimmy, was like my big brother. You feel me? Those were my brothers. Like it's not an era that they never protected me back in the day.
Lil Randy just followed them everywhere. They had to protect you. I told him, keep an eye on him.
They was my brothers, man. You know what I mean? They were my brothers. Like, it was like, Big Birch went off to the military, and when he came back about 100 pounds heavier because he was a chef or a cook in the military. But that was my big brother. He ended up getting a job up at the Boys and Girls Club, and I mean, it was like we were family. We seen each other every day. You feel me? And Darnell, God bless him. And then of course Jimmy. I mean, my God, these guys looked
out. What can you say about Jimmy? Yeah.
Hey, man, look, he made some choices in his life, but he
could have been a A1 comedian.
Exactly.
He was a master barber. He could have been anything he wanted.
He was my barber. He cut my hair. He was my guy. Mama Birch, I appreciate you. I love you to death. I promise. There's nobody.
I love you more. But I'm gonna keep this pork chop in my pocket.
You don't have to use it. I promise you. You won't have to use it. I love you. Okay.
Keep handling your business, baby.
All right, babe. Peace and love.
All right. Bye, guys. I ain't gonna hold the phone up. I think Twin trying to call me.
All right, Ma. Talk to you. Baby. All right, baby.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. You know what? I'm gonna have to get, I've fallen off a little bit. I'm gonna have to get Mama Birch information, and I'm gonna have to put her on my package list. We got history. She opened up a door. Yeah, it was Wayne, Donna. her son. She opened up a door that, you know, I never thought that I would be talking about or opening up. She said my mother's best friend, Pam. And yeah, I never wanted to say it, but Mama Birch said it. If y'all knew how those were wolves, all right. Her husband, the Sparks, those were wolves back in the day. And I never wanted to say anything, but my mother's best friend ended up marrying Mama Birch's ex-husband. And I forgot. All these years that we've been on the show and all these years that we've been talking and Mama Birch been here and all that, I forgot. I never even thought about that. And I never thought about Pam on this show, but these are all the ladies that ran and Rip and ran together. I think Mama Birch was a little in her feelings because, yeah, she was with a dude that was kind of popping in the streets. And you know how women who deal with guys from the streets, they have a reputation of their own. And I think she was here to clear up, like, look, that wasn't me. And I was just jiving with her. But you know, you was in Night Flight because it was just a hot spot for the people in that age group. I never been to Night Flight. I was probably 15 years too young to get in Night Flight. You see what I'm saying? So that was a great era and great time for them. It was a time where the community raised us. Mama Birch raised me and some other people, you know, see us doing shit out in the streets. And she would always, you had to go the other way. You couldn't come down, you know, her street. You couldn't do it. The old saying, the lady that's in the window, oversee the community and stuff like, you couldn't do it. And listen, that was a privilege. That was a privilege to have that conversation with Mama Birch right there. That meant a lot to me. She's been listening and been silent and all that. I guess I opened up a can of kick ass from yesterday because what I said was not a lie. I think somebody from the past came up and said something to her. I don't know who's watching these programs for them to. Mama Birch, you still got haters from from Bloom. Damn, you didn't tortured somebody's life to death. You didn't took somebody's 4th grade boyfriend, the hell, 7th grade boyfriend, and they still rock it. They still mad at that. Don't that young lady know that they probably wasn't gonna be together? If it wasn't you that messed it up, it was gonna be somebody else that messed it up. I mean, damn. But it's so ironic because I just said it yesterday on the show. I said, man, I still got people that kind of got a problem with me from the 5th and 6th grade. Like, damn, let it go. What the fuck? What did I do as a 12-year-old that could piss you off and you 50? I mean, I wasn't driving. I didn't accidentally kill somebody in your family. What the hell could somebody do in the 5th or 6th or 7th grade to somebody where they hate you for life? Do you know that's not even the same person anymore? Is anybody, raise your hand if you're the same person that you were in the 7th grade? I'm talking about mentality, the things you were capable of. I know I'm not. Oh man, y'all would be. If I was the Randy from the 7th and 8th grade, I wouldn't be talking as much as I talk. I'd just be sitting back, listening to y'all. The show would be like, it'd just be dark. I'd just be like, okay, what are we talking about today? And then I wouldn't take no shit. I'd be cussing people out. I'm talking about literally. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't take no shit. 7th, 8th grade, I was a problem. I had to be. Donna says, I thought about that, Wyatt. I was like, oh Lord. Yeah, I mean, geez. You know, and that's and it doesn't stop, AK-47. It don't stop. She says some folks are quite regressive. Let me catch up with them. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop at like, and what I mean by that, AK, is this. You're right. Some people just go to a certain point and they stay there. Like in their mentalities and how they feel. And once they've been taught, now they've learned it all. You know what I'm saying? DH said, what school did Wayne attend? I think it was, if you're talking about high school, I think it was West High. You know what I'm saying? I think it was West High. Wasn't it, Mama Birch? I'm not the same person I was in the 7th or 8th grade. But now, oh, it was Taft? Okay. I thought Big Birch, or she said Wayne. I'm sorry, Wayne did. Yeah, Jimmy went to Taft. That's the picture I put up. He had his Taft outfit on. I thought he was talking about Big Birch. That's my fault. But now he was a standout basketball player. Big Birch could play ball. He could play basketball. Jimmy was like, he played all sports, but he was like, I think he was a football dude. Now Darnell, this is it. I'm gonna get off this. Darnell was my dude. He's the youngest. He's the baby of the crew of the boys. And Darnell, still to this day, he got my back on anything. I like, if I see him, I don't talk to him that often, but I could call him. You know what I'm saying? He could call me, and that's what count. And he was the outstanding athlete. Like, he was, sorry, rest in heaven to my two brothers, but Darnell was probably better than both of them. All right. I mean, skill wise. I mean, he was faster. He was just as big as those guys, but he was faster, stronger. I think he had D1 offers. I'm pretty sure he did, because I remember him talking about he could have went to, I think, Nebraska. Mama Birch, correct me if I'm wrong. But I think he had offers to go to, like, Nebraska was one of them, because I thought he was going to leave. I thought he was going to Nebraska back in the day to play football. But yeah, he was the athlete. He was the one that was better than shit. He wasn't just better than his brothers. He was better than a lot of us that played ball. I never seen him play baseball, but basketball and football, he was a dog. We used to call him, when he went in the gym, we used to call him Moses Malone. And if you know that era, you know Moses Malone was a bully on the court. And that's how Darnell was. He was put the ball down with two hands. Him and Mario put the ball down with two hands, give you the shoulder, the elbow, or whatever, and go up. You didn't even want to jump with him because you was going to get hurt. You were going to get hurt. Yeah, he got hurt. Injured his ankle. That probably slowed him down from Nebraska, where he should have gone. Because I thought he was gone. I thought he was gone to school. I thought he was going to go off and do the football thing, but he ended up doing something different. That all being said, man, what was I going to talk about today? God, Mama Birch put something in my mind that I don't know if I'm. Yeah, she said Darnell played all. I just never, I was a baseball guy. I never seen Darnell play baseball. Okay, that don't mean it. I mean, I'm talking about organized baseball. Shit, he played baseball with us when we had you draw the circle on the concrete and you play up under somebody's window and you playing 1-on-1. Yeah, he would play that. But, like, he was never, like, on our team or nothing. Yeah, he never played organized. He never, like, at the Boys and Girls, he never played baseball. He didn't go down and play with us down at Parktown and none of that. He didn't do baseball like that. Yeah, you did make my day. Donnie said he was left-handed and was dangerous on the court. Donnie, everybody was dangerous on the court. You couldn't check nobody. I had to get it in. I owe you probably 2 more. And now that your son is born, I promised, and I said that I was going to get him a coach, because we got to get his handles. We got to get his handles right. And, we don't want you at the park trying to teach your son how to do it like you used to do it. I'm just playing. Donnie was a good ball player. I was just playing. I just wanted to give him some smoke. Y'all didn't remember Donnie going in on me a few times, and I didn't say anything. And I told you I'm a very patient individual. The time will come when I have to return the serve. And that was just one of them. I told him and his wife when she was pregnant with Lil Cruz, I said, oh shit, I'm going to have to get him a basketball coach, because daddy just wasn't it. I'm just kidding, Donnie. You my bro. I love you, bro. I'm just playing. All right. So look, somebody sent me something in the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I think it was the Wyatt Live Messenger group. I might have received it on my personal page. I'm not quite sure. And how I know I'm not quite, because I tried to find it before I came on the air. I was looking for it, I was rushing and I was trying to find this clip, but I think it was yesterday in City Hall. Yesterday, City Hall had a hearing, not a hearing, but some type of meeting. And I think it was a finance meeting, I believe. I should have wrote this all down, but I'm just going off of memory. And from my understanding, in this clip, from my understanding, it shifted from finance to some other stuff. And they start talking about like, there was a white dude that got up, sat in front of the city council and was talking about the crime that's going on in this area. And I really need to find that clip. I don't know who sent it. I know a lot of people seen it. And I think it came from Stefan Pryor's page or something. So y'all go see it. I'm going to talk to you about it for a hot second. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you a fair warning right now. And it was something that I told you some time ago about you better be careful. Now, it wasn't this election in Cincinnati that you had to worry about. It wasn't this election with AFTAB. It might be the next one. And the reason why I say you better be careful, Cincinnati, is because I watched that video from that little meeting yesterday. And I'm going to tell you something. It's starting to look a little bit more like Oakley. The people that's showing up at these finance meetings, the people that have interest, business interest and housing in Over the Rhine and downtown, it don't look like it used to look when we lived there. You can tell by the residents and how they show up. They're interested and they speak up and they go to the meetings and they say things like, listen, this is what the guy said. He said, I want to know what's going on with this drive-by shooting that happened in Over the Rhine. Why is it taking the police so long to figure this thing out? I have it on video. I submitted all this to the police. We don't get any updates. We don't know what's going on. You can clearly see the 3 guys that were involved in this. You can see their faces. You can see what they riding in. You can see the license plate. You can see everything. Why is it taking so long to solve this situation? The same thing that we used to say, but we would say it amongst each other out loud and might say it on a radio or on a podcast and not, it didn't really mean anything there, okay? Because we don't really stick together like they do. That's why in Oakley, they had that overturning of some projects that they had going on out there. And the people said, no, we're not going to let you overvote what we doing. We don't want it. So what? Y'all 9 city council people and mayor voted yes. Y'all going to redo this shit because us as taxpayer residents out here in this area of Oakley, we don't want that shit. And you will see it at the ballot box if you think that you're going to overvote, if you're going to overvote us, you're going to not take how we feel in consideration. Y'all remember that? Because we had a conversation about that. I told y'all a long time ago they're not going to put that car dealership over there. Remember? I know some of y'all don't remember that because you don't remember half the shit I say. I told you, I said, oh no, the community don't want that. Those taxpayers, those are guys and those are men and women and families over there that know how to go to City Hall and do it a little bit different. They're never going to stand outside in Oakley with signs and march and protest. They're not going to do that shit. They do things different. They don't get out in the streets and protest. You ain't going to do this in our community. They don't do shit like that. They know where to get the pig because the pig is the fat. That's the fat. They know how to go to the source. They know that it's about the money. So they affect the money. All right. So long story short on this individual is bitching and complaining as he should. And he's mad because this thing is not being, this drive-by in his community of Over the Rhine, they feel like not enough attention, not enough police, not enough whatever is going to satisfy the community to feel safe, not enough is being done. That's what he said. I got all the stuff. It's on my cell phone. You could see all the people. More importantly than him bitching and complaining about that, you're going to see more of that. You're going to see, that's why they got them SWAT trucks in Over the Rhine now. That's why they setting up those little speed bumps with the sign on it that tell you how fast you're going. And that's why they setting up right outside the nightclubs that's acting a fool. Because when you put $2 million properties down there and you got a tax base down there, it's different. It ain't got nothing to do with it's white. It ain't because they white. If black folks had the same interests and had the same property ownership and was able to do the same and bitched and complained and was effective towards the people that they vote for, if you would vote for the reason of policy versus voting because a motherfucker look like you or you think they cool because they whatever they wear, whatever they fitting into whatever your program is, they cool and shit, all that old shit, you would have a better understanding of why you don't get anything for what you ask. You don't get what you asking for. You get what you get because that you don't even ask for nothing. You let them off the hook. You vote them in these offices, and then they do people that don't even look like you better than you. And then the people that don't look like you come down there and buy the equity of the community and get treated as like equity property owners. So the moral to this story is when this man sat down there and he bitched and complained in front of city council yesterday, and he said, I could show you these videos of these guys shooting and doing these drive-bys down here, and y'all not doing anything. His number one thing that he brought up that we never talk about, I do here, he said, I am a taxpayer. I pay XYZ amount of taxes in this county. And I want to know where my police tax dollars are going. Look at our schools. Now, this is the white dude telling them what I've been saying forever. And of course, it's not about black or white. It's just that I never really seen anybody sit down there in all these other years and decades and have these same complaints when all that shit was going on. And he sat down there and he told him, he said, here's my list of things that here's my concerns. I'm a property owner. I pay property taxes, and these property taxes should be going towards fixing these problems, these community problems. See, now that's when city council start listening to you, because those people aren't going to continue to vote for people just because they're a Democrat, not because they black. It's not going to work like that. See, before, y'all got to understand, when these folks lived in Oakley and they lived in the suburbs of Cincinnati and they were paying Cincinnati or Hamilton County taxes, sales taxes and property taxes, the crime wasn't affecting them. So their vote base didn't really matter. It didn't really matter. They were probably part of the short end of the stick of the 20, y'all only get 24.5% voters out of 100%. You got a 75% base that don't even vote. You know what I'm saying? So they've been getting over. They've been getting over by probably people that just been voting because there they are on the slate and they've been passed, they just getting passed through. Or they look like you and I know they're going to do something good for us. And you bitch the whole time they in office. And I'm just being honest with you. It's going to be a different resident. The resident down there may have been voting Democrat, but they ain't going to let that Democrat policy shit float in their neighborhood. When they was living in Oakley, those policies didn't matter to them because they wasn't getting carjacked. They wasn't getting broken into. They wasn't getting drive-by shootings in Oakley and all those other places where they were there. They were voting for the same city council, or maybe they wasn't even voting. Maybe it was the OT. 24% of your people are voting. That's it. They've been getting over. But you know what's going to change? I don't care if there's a Democrat or a Republican. It doesn't matter to me. But what's going to change is the crime is going to change and over the rhyme because it's too much equity there. It's too much money there. That's why they're going to start setting up stuff outside of nightclubs. That's why they're going to start giving people 100 years when they get caught with a gun downtown. This is why they're going to start cleaning up that murder and all that old shit that's going on in OTR. They are going to clean it up because now they have people that they know how to fight the problem. It ain't because they white. It's because of the interest that they have in their investment. They bought the block. And now they got to protect it. And now they're going to use what they got to use in order to keep it clean. They're going to utilize the police department. They ain't going to weaponize the police department. They ain't going to be running around caring if the police department grab a motherfucker because they out there doing some crazy shit. Ain't nobody going to defend criminals. Ain't nobody going to defend nonsense. Ain't nobody going to do that shit. And it's going to be clean. They're going to have $500 million buildings down there. And they're going to keep building $2 million properties. And that's what you do with a community that cares for itself. That's what you do. Now, the people that's scheming and getting all the money right now and hustling, It's a short time. Get as much as you can, sis. Get as much as you can, bro. I don't even give a fuck. I really don't care. But where I do care is when you talk that brother shit. Talk, oh, I got you, brother. Little sister, brother. Nah, man, miss me with that bullshit. All right. But if it's part of your hustle and that's what you need, then all right, go ahead. Fuck it. I don't care. Everybody ain't gonna be on the same level when it comes to certain things anyway. You always look, y'all got to understand how life really is. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Life is the strong survive off the weak anyway. Somebody correct me when I'm wrong. The strong survives off the weak. Everybody can't be a lion. Everybody can't be the big bear and everybody can't. Somebody got to be the bug. Somebody got to be the windshield. So you just got to decide on what you're going to be. You cool being the bug? You cool being the sheep? That's fine. I ain't mad at you. But you might want to get out of the way for those that really want to be lions. All right? Stop trying to, bullying is a different form now. Bullying, it changes with age. When you was a kid, the 99999, your mama step on a crack, your mama broke her back. That was bullying back in the day when you was a child. Then you get a little bit older and it's like you get teased for the good shit you have in life because the other people don't have it. That's bullying. Oh, y'all don't think that you still getting bullied? Bullying at a late age is a level of manipulation. Everybody want to be part of something. Even loners want to be part of something. And one thing that I can tell you, not Noah, but most people want to be liked. I mean, it's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. But in order to be liked, what do you have to do? Usually in most cases, you have to agree. You have to agree with most people. Even if you don't agree, you train yourself to be like that. You train yourself to agree with bullshit. And then you find some kind of way of trying to make it logically fit into the puzzle of shit that really, matters to you. Truth of the matter is, man, everybody's been bullied at some point. It's if you recognize it. It's if you recognize you being bullied. See, bullying is not get your ass over there, sit your ass there. It's not physical all times. The older we get, the more mental bullying becomes. You got, like I told y'all yesterday on the show, the reason why a lot of successful Black people don't call into radios and don't call into podcasts and don't say shit, they fall back because they don't want to have shit to do with all that old dumbass, miserable shit that people that's talking. They don't want to have shit to do with that all day. They too busy getting it. They too busy getting money. They too busy investing. They too busy upping their 401ks. They too busy for that bullshit y'all be talking. Too busy. And a lot of them won't sacrifice like I will. I've taken a lot of time. I've sacrificed money, time, effort, position, all that shit right here on Wyatt Live, and I don't make a fucking quarter. Now, why do you think I'm here? I've created more enemies than I've created friends. I ain't never had no friend. I don't care about friends. I know my people. I know who I love and I know who love me. That matters to me. But somebody tell me what my motivation is. I don't run around with none of your power players, because I don't need them. What I need them for? I mean, what do most people look? I don't need a mayor. My life ain't circled around making sure that he put me on. Come on. I put myself on. I put myself in positions and I put us on. We got to learn how to put somebody else on and stop sitting around trying to get put on. Create something and put somebody else on. Everybody screaming and hollering about, rent is too high. Well, fucking hustle then. Hustle. First week we started Wyatt Live, I said, look, I only want players in here. See how cynical minds think? Players, he want people to hustle. Yeah. If you make cookies, sell cookies. If you make cupcakes, sell cupcakes. Give them away for free. Make people feel and taste how great your product is. That's mama's recipe. That's granny's recipe. If you make a syrup, sell that syrup. Give that shit away. If you bake hams better than everybody, sell 50 hams during freaking Thanksgiving and Christmas. Learn how to make $25 a week. That's $100 a month. It'll change your life forever. Instead, we got to talk. It's so fucked up out here. They doing us like, and the craziest shit is, I listen to people talk about, and they be doing us like this. You know how them white folks are. You know how they be doing it. And your whole leadership look just like you. Ain't no white folks making no decisions in the city of Cincinnati. Now, I'll get on Detroit here in a minute if you want me to, Rock. I'll get on Detroit here in a minute. I can get on Cleveland. Every city that I talk about, New Orleans. Now, I didn't live in these cities. I can tell you right now, it's all the same everywhere you go. And ain't nobody stopping a motherfucker from doing nothing but those that don't want you going nowhere. Those are the lions, not the Detroit Lions. Those are the lions. Those are the ones that's eating the sheep. They need sheep. They breed sheep. They multiply they sheep. You just happen to be in their equation. Ain't nobody stopping nobody from doing shit. My God. Ain't nothing out here that you can't learn. I guess the computers and I guess Google search is racist. I can't wait for that shit to happen. I can't wait for somebody to say that. Oh, well, you know, they hear your voice and they recognize you're black and they give you disinformation. They give you misinformation. Yeah, that's the Google. That's the new hustle. That's the new Google. Yeah, when they get those computerized police officers and they running off the computer, you know they didn't program them to do the black people worse. It's going to be something. It's always something. You'll always be taught that something is worse for you than anybody else, but you'll never try. You'll never see if it really is. You'll never test it. Why don't you be the computer company that sell the chips to the robots? Why don't you find out? Why don't we talk about that? I'm telling y'all, man, the other day, I'm going to tell y'all where I was, but the other day when I seen all these brothers and sisters pulling up, hugging each other, showing love, they don't have time to think the way y'all be thinking. I don't mean everybody. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that got their face all fucked up, right? Screws up. Motherfucker, he think he. Them the people. Them ones right there. They only relevant when they talking about some shit that's against you. That's it. All I'm saying and all I've ever been able to say is everybody in this program, everybody listening, everybody in the chat can be whatever they want to be. Your sons and your daughters can be whatever they want to be. Your grandkids can be whatever they want to be. I got something that's going to ruffle some feathers. I want to say this. It ain't going to sound good, but it's part of getting some of the fraud out of our face. Can we next year do one thing? And this is going to be rough, but understand I'm a rough kind of, maybe my delivery is bad. I'm first to admit that. Maybe my delivery is awful when I say this, but I mean it from the heart. Next year, can we try something different when it comes to Thanksgiving? Right after I say this, I'm going to go to the phone line. Can we stop? Can we do something? Maybe not something different. Can we do something more than just popping out during Thanksgiving and everybody out on the street and giving gifts and giving turkey giveaways and shit like that? Why don't we have a giveaway in June, July, February, October? You know, the same people that want to pop out here and flex and throw a little bit of money into a turkey drive. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful. But to me, it becomes a flex when it's on television. And I challenge this to all of like the media. I'm talking about like Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 12, I think it is, and since 19. I'll never forget those channels. That's all we had growing up. I'm just saying, I think personally, and here's the thing. Some people know how we get down over at the Wyatt org. You know, they know what we do. All right. We don't advertise it. We don't go in the media. We don't do none of that. But we give back, and we give back silently. We don't flex. We don't do that type of stuff. The only reason why y'all hear what we do over here is because sometimes I want to get the people here involved when we do the book bag drives. You know, I don't do the book bag drive anymore because I figured, why don't we do something else? What we were doing was, you know, like little body lotion. You know, we were giving away like health products. You know, we were doing little bags that had shampoo and you know, deodorant and toothpaste and toothbrushes and things of that nature, man. Don't nobody, that's what we did, okay? And it was little bags, and we would give it to the kids and to the family members that needed it. Hygiene, thank you, AK. And those are the things that's more important. These fucking flexes of we're giving a turkey away. You outside standing giving turkeys away, and you saying you're giving turkeys away to homeless people. And I'm not trying to take anything away from some people need to eat, but damn, do at least what one I seen an organization that did something special last year. And of course, my mind, I have to tell you, I'm going to tell you the positive. 90% of it was positive. And then you get this fake ass fraud ass dude that y'all love in Cincinnati do some fraud shit, and he messes up the whole program. Every year during Thanksgiving, there's an organization. I love them. I don't know who they are. They're undercover. I would donate money to them in a minute because of what they do. They do not a turkey giveaway, excuse me. They do a dinner every year for homeless people and people that are in shelters, and they held it. They didn't do it this year because I believe they're doing the Duke Energy Center over. Now, I have a family member that works, a really close family member that works at the Duke Energy Center. And they've been doing this for years, and I can't even get it out of her. What organization is doing this? I need to know who they are. They're so undercover, they don't want anybody to know. And they do this dinner every year. I mean, it is an amazing dinner. They open up the ballroom and they have these dinner tables laid out, and they get turkey. It's like a buffet. And it's no flex. They don't advertise it. I think they just go down there and tell people, and they let them come in as they need to eat. It's a wonderful thing. The news has never been there. Nobody ever sees it, but the people that need it. It's not a flex. You ain't got one dude standing there like he just put 10 grand out his pocket. Oh, yeah, some easy shit out here. We got to take care of everybody. Fuck that. Excuse me. Forget that. Shout out to whoever that is at the Duke Energy Center. It might be the Duke Energy Center that's doing it. I don't know. For some odd reason, they won't give me the information. I'm telling you, I got a family member that works there that won't tell me. And I'm like, well, look, I ain't trying to steal their thunder. I don't want to talk about it. And I didn't even have the show when this was going on. I didn't have Wyatt. Like, this has been going on for years. And then, of course, you got your special little knuckleheads, the guys that y'all, and he know who he is, who want to act like they always using children to make money off of. And I can't. You know what? People can say what they want to say about about the show and say whatever they want to say about me personally, and they can down us. They can say whatever they want to say. It'll never make me mad. You know what make me mad? When people flex on kids. They use children to make money, and they ain't got a dime themselves, and they use kids for they come up. I just can't stand those type of people. 1 year, a few years ago, had to be at least 3, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Let's just say 3 years ago for argument's sake. That same turkey thing was going on. That same dinner for the homeless was going on. Never advertised, none of that. Somebody get on their Facebook page, and I don't even care if dude got a problem with me. I don't even care. All right, we can do a celebrity boxing match or whatever you want to do, and we can do it like that. But this dude takes some kids down there because they had something going on down there. Not the turkey thing, not the dinner thing. This guy go down there with a few 2 to 3, 4 kids down there, right? And they're down there on different business, and the dinner happened to be going on. Now, this family member called me and says, "You ain't gonna believe who down here flexing." I said, "Who?" They told me the name. I said, "That doesn't shock me." This person posts with about 4 of the kids on their Facebook page, on their social media page, and said, "We're down here feeding the homeless. This is what our organization, in other words, his nonprofit organization is down here with children, and they promoting this event, and they're feeding kids." And he had them children stand behind the table like they were serving the homeless people or the people that were eating dinner that night. I put that on my mama. And I despise people that do shit like that. And there's no way in hell I would get on this platform and make up a lie like that. This dude took pictures and put it on his web page. His art, like they had farmed this thing, and they were part of this not turkey giveaway, but this dinner give. These are the frauds that you have that are seeking positions and asking you for money so they can have places. This is their hustle. They don't give a shit about no damn kids. They don't give a shit about them kids, man. This is their hustle. They're not capable of going out and building anything on their own and building a business. They want the easy way. They want to use the sympathy of the community and use kids and say, "Hey, we need money. We need somewhere to go. We need to do this. Go get yourself some money and do it yourself." That'll show motherfuckers that you committed to the community and you committed to the kids. Spend your own money. And now, once you start spending your own money, because this is on my mama. Everybody know, not everybody. You can challenge me this if you want to. I put my own money up when I did that shit for them kids. Every dime. I never petitioned the city for money, the state, nobody. Every dime to keep them buildings open, to keep them kids fed, to keep them education programs going, that came from us, from me. Not one freaking dime. And I don't need to know the mayor. I don't need to know the city manager. I don't need to know them people. Now, if I'm building it, and I don't have to be cool with the pizza dude. I ain't got no problem with him, but he did say some foul shit about me. Your biggest fear is somebody that's independent. They don't want, we always talk about they. I could put a face on they. A lot of people talk that they shit and they don't want us and they, and they don't even know who they talking about. They really don't know who they talking about because their own leaders are really the they, but they don't mean the theys of their own lead. They don't mean that. They trying to convince you that it's them folks, but it's not. It's the leaders that's right in front of you. So so when you trying to, you're changing the narrative. When you try to say they, you really got your people thinking that it's them white folks over there that's doing. No, white folks don't run Cincinnati according to how you vote and how you do things. They don't run Cincinnati, right? Right? I mean, logically, they don't. They don't, right? To help me if I'm wrong. Because I never hear anybody talking about it like, well, there's really a dark government. There's somebody else, that's doing this. How do all these ex-politicians get an opportunity to get on these boards and make decisions about money that your city council don't even make decisions on? I'm just curious. This is not just Cincinnati. I know y'all think that Cincinnati is it. This is what happens in multiple metropolitan cities. Cincinnati is just trained well. They just doing the same thing. Yeah, I mean, they're not any different than any city that's run this way. It's all the same, no matter where you go. New Orleans is no different. That's why their school system sucks. It's meant to be that way. They don't want people coming out with independent thinking thoughts, and they don't want you coming out with a 3.5. They don't want that shit because they need people that's going to fall desperate to the systems. Dependency. It is a jungle. They need sheep. They produce sheep. That's why they push you through. That's why they give money to schools like Don. That's why they let it go for a 20-year run. They understand. It's really become self-dependent. It's a system that takes care of itself. They don't even have to put any effort into it anymore. Damn. And we back here fighting everything but the real fight. Most of the time we fighting each other. And you put a different idea in someone's head and they think you the enemy. And I'm like, my God, a different idea might lead to a different result. The idea that you have continues to come up with the same result. I don't get it. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. My apologies for the caller. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, man, this is CK, man. I was listening to your program.
Hey, CK, how you doing today, bro? Long time no talk to.
Man, hey, I heard you where you said that the only time they are relevant is when they are talking about you.
Huh?
You said the only time they are relevant is when they are talking about you.
Nah, I don't believe that.
That's what you said. You said they only relevant when they talking shit about you. That's what you said on your podcast.
No. I didn't say they're only relevant when they're talking about me. I said they're only relevant when they're talking about the things, when they're talking about certain things that they're really probabilities. You know what I'm saying? They talk about things that could happen. They talk about things that have already happened. They talk about probabilities sometimes. They talk about, well, if this happened, this gonna happen, and this and that. They never really talk. That's their position, bro. A lot of people don't talk about tomorrow. They talk about yesterday. A lot of people don't look in the front window. They look in the rear view mirror. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So you just have to. That's what I was saying. I wasn't saying that they're only relevant when they're talking about me. I said they're only relevant when they're talking about those things. They're important in those spaces. That's where they shine. And that's
a great point you made, because staring at your rear view, you not looking forward, and you can crash into a school bus with children on it. So you need to look forward. You don't need to keep staring at the rear view. Right. Because I understand what you said. Some people think they mastered it by staring at the world in their rear view. But you have to still look forward to progress. It's about progression, Wyatt.
I agree with you. I agree.
So as we progress, nice suit, by the way.
Thank you.
You have to understand, I could compliment you because I looked at the suit this time, because remember you caught me when you didn't have the suit on at one time, so I always check it out real quick, boom. But I could compliment another black man because I am also a champion.
Yeah.
So I have confidence. So the people that calls your platform and complains about me complimenting you, that's because they're not a superstar like us. So they get insecure by compliments of other men. So they take it to a level of what happened to them as children. So that's why they call and be so furious when I give you a salute on your progression in life. Because you know I give you all type of compliments on IQ, intellect, business practices, education. So it's not just some jive.
No,
I hit you on real topics.
No, I agree. I agree. You compliment. And matter of fact, people do clown. They do clown you for complimenting a brother, and I compliment brothers a lot too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because you're a superhero.
But hold on.
I'm a superhero. I got to help you young brothers. You fucking insecure. We got to keep you out of jail. And if I could change your mental and save me and my people,
right?
You know what I mean? When you cross my path, I'm gonna look you in the eye. I'm gonna speak to you, brother. So I ain't got no fear in me. I'm not one of them people that's gonna shy away. So if you is gonna murder me, you're gonna murder a nigga you looked at in the eye. You ain't gonna just sneak up behind me and I ain't see it coming. I looked at you and I spoke to you. Oh, you killed the nigga that spoke to you. That's what you're gonna have to do with me. So yes, we are dealing with a criminal crisis of hatred of our own people. It's like the Jewish thing when they had remember when they lost a lot of people? What was that called?
It's called the Holocaust.
Yeah, it's like a holocaust of our own. It's like we're fueled. I just want you to get that we're fueled off of it. So now it's making us feel good to tear each other down. And I was hearing part of that rhetoric in your speech today when you said how they call you, certain things because of political beliefs or because of how you feel about your property, but you get attacked. Your character gets attacked. You know what I mean? Well, that you're not a real, I'm not from the hood or I'm not black. That type of thing.
CK, can I ask you a question, bro? And it's a serious question.
Yes, sir.
It's a real question, and I don't mean any disrespect. So hear me out in the questioning before you judge the question, okay? And it comes from the fact that you do compliment, because people only hear you compliment me, but you compliment most of the people that you're talking about. Okay. But now let me ask you a true question. And this is not going to sound good, but just hear me out before you hear it to be wrong. CK, did you used to be a hater? Did you used to hate to see people get things and do things and be successful? And did you kind of hate people like that at once in your life?
Never in life, 0%. I always looked at them, but I was raised, my stepfather was one of them. So he was 100%. So I learned, but I had a lot of family. So I had other family, that smooth family, they taught me how to be an honorable man, but I seen a hater. So I learned it. That's what made me such a outstanding person today, because I was raised by a hater, but I had so many real G's in my family. When I say G's, I'm talking about gentlemen. You know what I mean?
I get it.
A lot of uncles, a lot of fathers. So yeah, I never was a hater. I always was a congratulator. That's why God always blessed me out of tough situations I put myself in.
Right. Okay. Let me explain why I asked you that question. There's something to it. And it wasn't that I was aiming at you personally. It's generally people who are complimentary. Most people they were haters at one time. I don't even like using the word hater, but they had issues of people coming up and this and that. And then what they learn a little bit later in life is if they start acting a little bit different, maybe some of that same stuff, not rub on them, but they'll learn to watch people versus watch them for the wrong reasons. So the reason why I asked you if you was a hater or somebody that used to look funny at people that was doing things is because maybe you went through that once in your life and you realized how wrong it was and you changed. I'm going to play a clip when you hang up. And if you stay on the line, if you stay on the program, the clip will explain better than how I'm trying to explain to you right now. You see what I'm saying? I used to be. I was somewhat of a hater back in the day. I pocket watched. I did a few things, and I remember, like, damn, I remember I used to be like that. And then I remember what changed me. Instead of hating somebody that's getting it, are doing it, I got to figure out a way. How do I learn how to do what they doing instead of being mad at what they doing? You feel me? Now I was young, but I still remember those days.
But I won't, let's be clear, be very clear and take this in. When I look at your daughter, this is before death and after death, my death, right? I say, damn, how the fuck is she doing that? Because I admire that I couldn't do it. Like when you say medical school, I can't even sniff it. You hear me? I can't get nowhere close. So when I look at, I always been like that. So when I look at people like that, it's gonna always be complimentary because you're doing something I can't even fathom doing. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's when they say, if some of us, as one of us got it, some of us got it. So I've never been a hater. So I always look at people. That's why I like the Eddie Murphy documentary. I like people that accomplish things that I haven't, Wyatt, like yourself.
Well, no,
you went to higher learning college, so I respect you. So it's gonna be always compliments if I could talk to you in the presence.
And see, to be honest with you, you know, bro, if more people thought that way, not necessarily about me, but just about things in general, I think we all can agree that a person that generally hates is somebody that just don't like to see other people succeed. And that's usually a reflection on how they feel about themselves, right?
Right.
Okay, so if, you know, I remember having a conversation about this a long time ago of, instead of me hating somebody, like I would try to find a way to figure out the recipe of what they doing. You see what
how
I'm
can
saying?
Just imagine me, CK, in medical school. That's what the stuff I'm talking about. So imagine if I had that talent, but I don't.
Yeah, well,
so I can congratulate somebody that does. How am I hate on them? They doing something I can't do, so it's admiration. So some people can't handle that emotion because they bitch made raised. Right. They was raised by women and they wasn't raised by men. So a lot of guys raised by women, they feel jealousy and envy. I'm not like that. When I see a young person in medical school, salute. When I see somebody becoming an attorney, salute. You doing something and I'm making minimum wage. That shit don't bother me. It's building me up.
Well, let me just tell you what that is, and I'm proud of you for that, for whatever reason, you know, other people may think. I think that comes from you being secure in who you are. You see what I'm saying? Like somebody that can be congratulative to someone that's overstepping boundaries and overstepping things that they can't achieve themselves, and you're proud of them. I think that says a lot about you. It says more about you than it does them, to be honest with you, bro. When you're so secure in who you are and what you are and your capabilities, I mean, that's just, you know,
and that's the reason I had to die, Wyatt. That's why I lost the CDL, to get that. So if I wasn't that before, that's what I am now. So you have to lose things to become who you need to become. Because what use of being that man before if I ain't who I am today? Now, like you said, I wasn't humble enough. You must be humble. Like you said, when your baby get that medical, she must protect it forever. And she got to keep getting higher learning. I didn't respect it. But like you said, I'm secure in who I am. I know the mistakes I made. Ain't no excuses. I salute y'all for trying to get me back in the game.
Right, I understand. Okay, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to get this paper. You know how we do it. Thank you for the therapy, sir.
All right, CK. Thanks for engaging with this, bro. Appreciate you. All right, bro. I just think that that's what it is. I think that we're all wired a little bit different, and we all show appreciation or lack of appreciation for things a little bit different. I remember being around them wolves, Donna, and I remember some of my guys was on some stick up shit. You know what I'm saying? That was what they did. And usually they stuck up the guys that was the most flashy and the standout guys. And some people probably wondering, well, where'd that come from? Because people pay attention to a lot of people that are successful, and that's their mark. That's their lick. That's from the streets. Now, when you talk about places like this, I got a little clip I want to show you. I think it's a little bit more technical than I can explain it, but it makes a whole lot of sense. It makes super sense, matter of fact. And Let me play that clip, then I'm gonna go straight to the phone lines. Check this clip out. Let me whoa. Let me get it. Let me get it on here. I thought I had it already, but I don't. But I do have the clip, but I didn't have it queued up. Let me just put it up here. Somebody get me a new producer. Somebody get me a new producer in here. I'm gonna fire his ass. Gonna fire him. All right. Listen to this explanation. And it's really weak people versus strong people. That's the title of it. Weak people versus strong people. Now you can pick who you are in these two comparisons. And if you don't say anything, then we all know who you really are. We know if you're the weak person or the strong people. This is explained a lot better than what I could have done. Check it out.
Weak people notice other people's mistakes and laugh. Strong people notice other people's mistakes and learn. Weak people talk about other people's problems to feel better. Strong people talk about other people's problems to become better. Weak people gossip about others to build fake connections. Strong people express vulnerability to build real ones. And this one's the kicker that you were just talking about. Weak people envy people ahead of them. Strong people study people ahead of them. And the interesting thing is, both people are looking at the same thing, but they're seeing different things. Because no one is a weak or strong person. It's just what you focus on. The switch for envy is study. If you're jealous of someone, if you're envious of someone, study them. And all of a sudden, that envy turns into appreciation, admiration, just complete awe, because you're like, now I know what it takes.
That's such a great clip that I'm gonna freeze it. I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'll probably play it again because somebody may have walked away, or zoned out, or wasn't paying attention until the middle of that conversation, or caught the end of it and then it didn't make sense to them. I'm gonna play it because it's a minute long. I want you to hear it once again, and you tell me if this does not make sense around your surroundings. You know people at work that treat you a certain way and they're probably jealous of you. If you're one of those people that kind of get angry because people come up or they know something that you don't know, you might want to kind of listen a little bit and start understanding that envy people tend to be mad at people and hate on people, versus some people look at people that are ahead of them and they study them versus being mad at them. It's a very important point. I think it's very, very relevant in our society today. Once again, check it out. Then I'm going straight to the phone lines.
Weak people notice other people's mistakes and laugh. Strong people notice other people's mistakes and learn. Weak people talk about other people's problems to feel better. Strong people talk about other people's problems to become better. Weak people gossip about others to build fake connections. Strong people express vulnerability to build real ones. And this one's the kicker that you were just talking about. Weak people envy people ahead of them. Strong people study people ahead of them. And the interesting thing is, both people are looking at the same thing, but they're seeing different things. Because no one is a weak or strong person. It's just what you focus on. The switch for envy is study. If you're jealous of someone, if you're envious of someone, study them. And all of a sudden, that envy turns into appreciation, admiration, just complete awe, because you're like, now I know what it takes.
I haven't seen a video that powerful in a long time. I have my top 10 that I'll probably go over this year because I mark them down. That video right there will definitely be in one of my top 10s because that's relevant to all of us. And it's relevant from conception, like ever since we were children. I mean, when we were children, that video is relevant all the way up to our adulthood. We will always be around that environment that he was just talking about. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, Wyatt? This your favorite Black Not Democrat, Drop Squad 52. How you doing?
Drop Squad, what's good with you, bro?
Hey, man, I'm doing okay. I just got back from doing my 3.48 miles.
Walk?
And
walk? Your walk?
Yeah. I've been kind of out of my routine because of the holidays. I went to Thailand at the end of September for my birthday. Then I came back in October and I watched my grandson for 3 weeks in Arizona.
Whoa.
And, then the Thanksgiving. So I've been kind of out of my routine. So I'm trying to get back into it to kickstart off 2026.
Okay,
but,
bro. How many miles was that? Say it again.
Yeah, I only did 3.4 today.
Okay. Is that up and back 3, 4 or?
Yeah, that's a round trip.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a round trip. Yeah. But sometimes when I go to the casino, because I don't have a car.
I know.
So just walking to the bus stop and then walking around in the casino, I usually hit like 6 miles.
Okay.
Yeah. So but like I said, for a 65-year-old on Medicare, I got to do my best, my brother.
Hey, I'm not mad at you, bro. Do you still think you made a good decision by getting rid of your car at retirement and just being able to get around? You still getting around pretty good?
Oh yeah, it was. It'll be 3 years next summer.
No regrets.
No, because it was strategic.
Oh,
Let me put it that way.
I mean, I'm on the same path as you. I'm already talking to I'm doing this. I probably will do the same thing. I'm serious.
because out here in California, blue state, it's a little bit different. So what I did, because it was a BMW, it was a 2011 BMW 328i. So it was 2022 when I traded it in. Okay. 23, one of those, when I donated it. So I was starting having problems with the maintenance. So I said, wait, let me do some math on this.
Okay.
I looked at the cost of gas, the maintenance that would have been required, how much registration is,
that's your taxes,
and how much insurance is.
Right.
So I said, by me not paying those things, I'm adding at least minimum $600.
$600 a month. That's where I'm at in my evaluation as well. I'm at $600 a month if I give away all that stuff. So right. I know exactly what you're saying. Mine is going to be a little higher than that because I have multiple cars. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So, yeah. And this was the other factor. The community that I live in. I've been here since 1992, a long time. Mm-hmm. Wasn't originally planned to be here this long, but that's another story. So everything in my community, I can walk to, or I can ride my e-bike if I have a doctor's appointment, or I could take the community. They have like a bus shuttle thing that can get me around.
Yeah.
Plus, if I need to get to the airport, there's another community service with a cab company where it don't cost me if I had to take Uber or something.
Yeah.
So all these things factored in, including my age and my physical health, I said, I'm going to save money. I'm going to continue to stay active and physical. And plus, I'll kind of prepare myself for when I really do get old and I'm not going to be able or allowed to drive. Right. So that was it. So I'm gonna see how it goes. Each year it's I review it.
Yeah, here's my only holdback on that plan, because I'm actually seriously, I've already crunched the numbers about doing it in the whole 9, right? My only holdback to it is this, bro. I've been for my whole entire life the type of individual that can just at the spot of, like at the spot of a moment, I can just get in my car in the driveway and just go to the store if I want to, or
See,
you know
that's
what I mean?
another thing. I'll tell you in a minute. That's another thing that I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. I have to be able to, I don't know if I could get up every day and have to call like a Uber or a Lyft or something, spur of the moment. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I can depend on that because of my lifestyle. And my lifestyle may change once I retire, but right now, I just don't see myself ever not having something. I may not have the whips that I have now. I mean, my drive, you know what I'm saying? My driveway will definitely be different, but I probably will have some little EV car. It's going to be something. This ain't going to be nothing like what I'm doing now, but I'll probably have something.
But see, again, for me, it's not permanent. Because when I originally did it, I said, I'm going to see how it's going to be. Because it's not like I can't afford a car.
Right. I know.
Wyatt, you already know where I stand financially. I could go buy a brand new car right now if I wanted to.
No doubt. No doubt.
But see, this was another thing. By me not having that car in my garage, it eliminates a lot of impulsive behavior.
That's true. Because, hey, let me cut you one time. Because you know what I've heard? There's people close to my age. I have some friends whose parents retired. You know what I mean? And we're not all that. We're really close in age. Some 15, 20 years, 15, 16, 17 years older than us. Some of their parents retired, bro. And sometimes you can retire too soon. And you go to the mall and you go out to eat dinner and lunch and stuff all the time. And you can jack your money up. You can really mess your money up being out here retired too young. You know?
You're right. Because I'm telling you why. Last weekend, I'm watching football, and they put up it was either Popeyes or Little Caesars pizza commercial. And I just laughed, and I said to myself, if I had a car, I'd jump in my car, go pick up some of that unhealthy fast food at halftime and come back and sit on my ass and eat it.
Yeah. And see, that right there is my problem. That right there is the reason why I need something that I can be like, I'll be right back. I gotta have me something that's gonna get me right back. And a bike ain't gonna do it. It's just not gonna do it. My man Shaba said a tricked out golf course.
Yeah. See, but you should really test yourself, Wyatt, because I know that you're physically active, but I don't know what type of community you live in. Because some communities are not conducive to bike riding, to walking, and things like that.
Well, the bike riding is, but here's the problem. Where I live in Florida, it's not, we don't have, like, the public is probably 2-3 miles away from me. And any of that type of strip mallish type stuff, or, I live in an area where there's a lot of land and it's divided, it's a lot of land between homes. And for us to go out to like a department store or a mall or something, man, the mall has to be about at least 10 miles away from me. But then the closest grocery store or the closest place that I can go get like a Chicago pizza, it's a place called Chicago's or whatever here in St. Pete, like it's probably 3 miles away, bro. I can't ride a bike to that. I guess I could, but the pizza's gonna be toe up by the time I get back. You know what I'm saying? But I can't do that. I'm the type of person, bro, it's a game on Sunday and I want me some wings. I'm not going to get me an Uber or order no damn DoorDash. And I don't like people. I don't know how people do that Uber Eats shit. Have you been, listen, bro, I promise I'm gonna let you finish. I was in Popeye Chicken the other day. And some of the raggediest people come in there to pick up them Ubers, and they be opening the bag to see, okay, make sure everything in there. I don't want people digging in my bag to make sure all my French fries are there or my pie is. I don't want people all in my shit. I can't eat like that. I don't even. I very seldom go through a drive-through. Okay, so because I like to see people kind of prepare my food. I want to see if a bun hit the ground. I don't go through drive-thrus because I want to see them prepare my food, bro. You feel me?
Yeah.
And the other day, I was out of town, right? And I'm gonna play that clip one day. Listen, for all my people, I'm glad you called, by the way. I went through a Wendy's drive-through because it was so late at night that they shut it down at a certain time. I think I was in Nashville. They shut the Wendy's down like at 11 o'clock. And I was coming, my daughters and I were driving, and we went through the drive-through, and guess what, bro? The drive-through was completely AI.
That's right.
Have y'all
That's
got?
right.
I know y'all probably got it in Cali, but like it's completely.
Well, I don't go
AI.
to fast food restaurants, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you don't have a car to go through the drive-through either, so it don't really. But my point is, I went through the drive-through. I'm gonna play the clip one day because I burned it, and bro, the whole situation was AI. I can I take your order? Sure. No, I didn't. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was all AI. Pulled up to the window. I had to put my credit card or my card into the little thing, and it took that and it ran. The only thing that happened the whole time, I had one human being that was making sure the arm that pulled the food outside to me made it to the car. They had the one little girl that was standing at the front, that the second window of Wendy's, and she was just making sure that the arm that came out to me reached the car. And it wasn't really reaching the car. It's only going to come out so far, and then you have to grab it. I mean, the whole thing was AI. It was all automated. It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. We in trouble. If you raising your kids,
we are. Yeah. When I was in Thailand, I went inside of McDonald's just to see what it was like, and right there was the screen.
Yeah.
It was one lady at the counter that I saw, but she said, "Sir, you have to put your order on the screen."
Yeah.
And I'm like, but anyway, you know, the topic that you're talking about, because I came in when CK was on. Shout out to CK.
Okay.
And what you guys were talking about within the Black community, because Wyatt, I know you and everybody in the chat. Shout out to the chat, the Donna Howard, Ed Tolbert, Denise Davis, everybody in there. You remember the old adage, crabs in a barrel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's related to Black folks, because I've never heard it connected to any other race or ethnicity in America.
Okay.
Now, the way you and CK were talking about the people who hate on others' success and those who congratulate success and try to duplicate that success if they're not in that, or if they don't like the position that they're in. So when you think about the crabs in the barrel, Wyatt, I already know which one you are, but how many people in the chat can clearly say, are they the crab that's trying to get out of the barrel, or are they the crab that's trying to pull the other crabs down?
Well, you can probably
because there's another one. There's a third one to that analogy that I've never heard mentioned.
Okay.
Because there are some crabs that are on the bottom who are not trying to pull the crabs on top down.
Yeah.
They're trying to ride their back to get out. You see what I'm saying? And that kind of goes with what you were saying. When you saw somebody that was doing better than you, you would try to say, what the hell are they doing? And can I do it?
Right. Yeah.
And then, you know, and again, Black people, we are not a monolith. Okay? Especially in 2025. Because of what me and you were just talking about. I'm in a financial position as a Black man who retired at 57.
Right.
After serving 7 years in the military, 28 years in the Postal Service. I'm financially able to donate my car to charity.
That's right.
And walk.
And do whatever you want to do in life. You can
still doing what I want to do.
That's
I'm
right.
finding out different ways to increase my my standard of living without a car. I mean, I'm just saying, Wyatt, think about that. Crabs in a barrel.
Yeah.
There's three types of crabs in that barrel.
Absolutely.
The ones that are trying to get out, the ones who for whatever reason don't want to be left behind, because you know misery loves company. They try to pull them down. And then that third crab, which is a lot of Black people, they getting out under any circumstances if I got to crawl over your ass to get out, because your hate for trying to pull somebody back is giving me an opportunity to climb up your ass, your back, over the other one's back, and I'm out. So I just wanted to throw that out there to the people, because your chat, some of the comments, Wyatt, I'm telling you, I know that most of the people in that chat were born after 1970. It's gotta be at least 80 to 90% in the chat, just based on how they comment.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but you can also tell who the crabs, what position the crab. You can tell by the comment too. And
can you identify?
Bro.
Are you gonna start calling them out, Wyatt?
No, I don't do that. I don't do that, bro. I let everybody look. I'm not gonna do that. People want you to get that messy and call out names and all that old shit. If they were relevant, or if they were close enough to the situation, they would already know who's being talked about. Just like people want me
to see, again, Wyatt, it's not our fault as being Black people born in America with the history of our ancestry and stuff. It's not really our fault that this type of mentality perpetuates and continues for all these years, Wyatt. And that's why I always say, it's your generation. You were born in 1970 something, and your daughters are going, and her children are going to be the beginning, I think, the beginning of changing that mentality. Because last thing, the whole thing about AI, right? Robot in a Black community, first thing they're gonna say, oh, that robot taking away our job. That's what the crab on the bottom would say. But the crab who try to crawl up by any means necessary, he's gonna say, well, wait a minute. Who puts the materials together to make that robot? Who makes sure that robot is running properly? That means somebody got to do the maintenance. You see what I'm saying, Wyatt?
Yeah, I mean,
that's, I think, because of your generation, how you guys raised your kids, and y'all had the knowledge and got to see my generation out there in the streets operating. Y'all changing the way these kids are being raised, and it's just a beautiful thing. I hope I can see it, but it's just the beginning, Wyatt, because it's hard to erase almost 75 years of this type of mentality.
It becomes embedded. It becomes a situation where people see, here's what it is. Sometimes people don't, here's the thing. What you just explained happens to a whole lot of different people as well. Okay. But I don't think we concentrate on other people like when we talking about stuff like this. Like the crab in the barrel situation, you said that we the only ones that really go through that. Now, I don't think that that's true. I think that Asians go through that as well. I think people that we think that are a little bit more organized, I don't think they're as organized as we think they are, because number one, we don't know their culture and we don't speak their language. So we don't even know when they hating on one another.
Usually why it's about class, like you always say.
It is.
It's not about race.
It is.
It's about class. Especially in Thailand, it's the same. If you rich, the poor people, they bow to you. And you know how you put your hands in the praying position? In Thailand, that's a form of greeting. And depending on that person's status that you're greeting, your hands go from up in the center of your face for the highest level of cultural status, all the way down to your chest to just a normal average greeting to anybody on the street.
Well, I understand all that. But what I'm saying to you is, for us to have to judge how others do their thing, and we don't even understand their culture, number one, we don't even understand their language. So we don't really know. I think it's a myth when they say things like Mexicans all work together. Mexicans live together. They are so united that they do things together. I think the only reason why they do that is because they have to. I know a lot of Mexicans that become independent when they get over here and start businesses, and they separate themselves. It becomes a classism thing for them as well. See what I'm saying? And I know some Asians, bro. I have a couple of Vietnamese friends that I grew up with. Not grew up, but I've known them for 20 plus years. And they own nail shops. And what a lot of people don't understand is them girls be in there hating on one another in them nail shops. The girls, the technicians. No, seriously, this is real shit, because this is what really, and I'm not saying you piss me off, but I let people say what they want to say. But I don't agree that we're the only people of the crab in the barrel syndrome, because I know of other, I lived in Europe, bro. They do the same shit there. Nobody really wants to see somebody come up before them or over them if there's a threat of them being left behind. Now, they'll help somebody if that somebody is going to help them get there, and then they're going to help, and they know that this person is going to bring them with them. See what I'm saying? Like, but if
I see what you're saying, but I could push back on it, but I'm not going to do it.
You could push back, but I got another example right here in America. It's called corporate America. It's one of the most backstabbing areas in America. You think the streets is bad? Try working in corporate America. They backstab and push each other down and report each other to HR and all that shit. They do the same thing. But giving you the benefit of this argument, the reason why I don't push back on things like what you said is because I'm not concerned about all that other shit. I'm not concerned how people do that in the Vietnamese community, how they do it in the Latin community. I'm not concerned about that. So I accept what you say, because we should be concentrating on our crab in the barrel. I don't care about anybody else's crab in the barrel situation. That's why I can sit here and take what you're saying. Some people, they get offended when you say that, because they know, like I know, everybody do that. But everybody's effect don't affect us. Our effect affects us, and that's the one I'm going to concentrate on.
Well, I mean, like I said, bro, I can hear you. I love calling your show, but Twin is the one that goes back and forth with you about individual philosophies. You entitled to think a certain way. Everybody's entitled, but that's being ridiculous. Black, Wyatt,
that is ridiculous. You've never said anything more ignorant in your life. Twin never had. What did you say? He calls and has a what?
What?
A philosophy? I'm just trying to pull him out. That's all. He must be asleep. I'm just trying to pull him out. He gonna call and jack me up. I'm just kidding. I gotta go.
Yeah, I know. You know, Twin is a closet philosopher. You know he is.
I'm just having a good time.
He speaks very philosophical. Wyatt.
He's the only guy that I can sit here and agree with. Just say it different, and he'll come up. He'll be ready to fight, not fight, but argue. Like, stop perping, stop flexing, stop what do you call it? Stop pump faking. And I'm like, Twin, we're saying the same damn thing. I'm just saying it a little bit different than what you're saying, bro. You know, that's why I love him.
Wyatt,
he's just funny.
As a 65-year-old black man, I'm telling you, some things in this country are exclusive to black folks. And the only thing that's causing issues with that are the new black folks. The African Americans who've been coming to this country through government, refugees and immigration policies.
What did you call them?
Been coming to this country since the 90s.
What did you call them? I didn't hear you. You said black folks, or did you call them something specific? I was reading something. I'm sorry.
I said Africans, the new black people.
Oh, okay. I thought
AKA people of color. That's why the politicians changed the label for us.
Yeah.
They do it every time politically when the voting numbers start to shift. You know, Black Power in the 70s, that was them voting. Them votes, they trying to get people to the poll.
Yeah. Well, you got to
and now with the you ain't black no more. You African American now.
I'm not
because they want to include them black people of color from other countries around the world who come to America, and our government puts them in Minnesota, give them their own little community, and now they're black people.
Yeah, benefit all from our struggles. But here's the thing.
But see, again, I don't have a problem with it.
I do.
But I'm saying it's stuff like that keeps this crabs in the barrel shit going way longer than it should.
Well, here's the problem with what you just said. Not what you said, but what that situation. When you get when you bring other people of color into this country, and then they start getting the privileges or the policies that are put in place for the black people who have been here, and they're not necessarily treated better, but they've been put first in the line, or they've been treated in a different kind. They've been treated better than the blacks here in this country when it comes down to some type of, financially. I have a problem with that. And here's the thing, bro. We find ourselves fighting amongst each other, trying to save somebody that don't give a shit about you. Because a lot of those people that come from other countries, bro, they don't even really fuck with black Americans. Now, when I said that, hold on, bro. When I said that some time ago, everybody went back to the radio and put my name out in the air, talking about Wyatt said. You know they do that shit, and it's all good. But they done went and told motherfuckers Wyatt said that them black people don't even like black people. And I'm trying to tell y'all, and I'm gonna keep telling y'all, Somalians don't fuck with y'all. They really don't. And if you don't believe me, and that's fine, you don't have to agree. This is my opinion. But my opinion is based on some type of foundation. All you got to do if you live in Cincinnati, Ohio, is take your ass. How do you get to Columbus? Is it 75 or 71? Take your ass on Route 75 and go up to Columbus, okay? And look at the Somalians in Columbus. They will outnumber you. They don't like you. Y'all know that Walmart that I've been trying to tell y'all up in Easton? They live in Easton. That Walmart is full of Somalians, and they all have EBT cards. They all have housing up there. That's where they put them. It's thousands of them. And you know what? That's why it's a war zone up at that Walmart. They fight, they steal, they don't rock with you. And y'all sitting back here fighting for them because you think they are people of color. But don't you think that there's more than just being a color? Don't you think that there has to be some form of brotherhood? Why would you fight for somebody that would never fight for you? I mean, why would you do something special for somebody that don't have your best interest in heart? I don't understand it. And see, the thing is this. The thing is, it's 71. Thank you, Don. You got black in your mind. That's the only thing. You've been programmed to believe that all black people are the same, and we're not. It's no different than what I was telling you with the crabs in the barrel drop. With Asians do that too, because we think that Asians stick together because they all in the nail shop together, or they all live in one apartment together. No, as soon as they get their money up, they break apart from people. They challenge each other. They are out trying. The Vietnamese girls be trying to outshine one another. I'm telling you, bro, they are like that. Okay.
Hey,
Vernon said, who's fighting for Somalians? I haven't seen anyone on that chat fighting for them. Maybe not in this chat, but your government certain party fighting for them, and they didn't fleece them for millions of dollars, and they doing more for them. So they're fighting for them. And if a party is fighting for them, whoever votes for that party, you're complicit. That's how it works. Remember, the police officer that is a racist in the car, if he does something racist to a black person out there and his partner don't say anything, he's just as racist, right? That's your logic. He's just as racist. So if you are part of a party or part of a group that supports what's going on, you're just as complicit. So you can't change up when it's good to you. By the way, let me ask Cincinnati why I got drop on the phone. How y'all liking that 229 gas up there? Somebody said, who was that? It wasn't Twin this time. Somebody sent me a picture in my DM. They taking pictures now of the gas in the city. Kroger had gas for $2.29.
I told you, Wyatt. I told you, bro. You got reach. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, bro. It's funny. You don't hear nothing about that. But that was, bro, come on, man. Come on.
Well, Wyatt, it's an old saying. If the tree falls in the forest and there's nobody around, does it make a sound?
It does.
But see, Wyatt, again, brother, like I always said, It's just certain things in this country that are going to happen to Black folks strictly because 87, 86% of us who are registered to vote one way with no deviation. It ain't like one election, 40% vote for the Republican, 60 vote for the, it's always the Democrats getting all those votes. So again, Wyatt, it's changing because of the Black Americans' economic status is changing. We are no longer confined to certain cities and in certain states. We all over the place because we have economic independence.
Exactly. That's exactly
but
what it takes.
when you start bringing in immigrants that look like the group,
they don't get it.
That was the foundation.
They don't get it.
And the basis of every political legislation that you try to pass. Then again, Wyatt, we just gonna have to go through this shit again because those people that come from these other countries who are Black, they are going to emulate the negative image that has been portrayed by our government and media of Black people in America. They're going to emulate it. And we see what's going on in Minnesota.
Well,
all
I'm looking at is this, Drop. If anything that I say don't make any sense to people, that's fine. But one thing you cannot discredit is the actions of those that I'm talking about. When you go up to Columbus, Ohio, when you go to Minnesota, when you go to some of these places that have a bunch of Somalians and other people like that, Mexicans or whatever's coming into the country, look at the communities that they're forming. Okay, look at the communities that they're forming and look at the economic growth that they're forming on their own. They are already opening up stores that they can receive those EBT cards and they can start opening up their own. They're opening up their own businesses. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? They have their own restaurant.
Oh yeah.
In Cincinnati, if you go to certain areas, they have all these different countries that have their grocery stores. The grocery store that we have been, in Avondale, that we've been trying to promote and say, hey, let's get this right. Everybody go spend their money there and blah, blah, blah. We so far behind, we sitting back talking about a grocery store in Avondale, where these guys got grocery stores in probably 4 or 5 different communities in that same city. And nobody talks about it. How is that possible? Why is there like 5 or 6 Mexican grocery stores in Cincinnati? And we sitting back talking about we got one and it's having issues. I mean, somebody make that make sense. And the issues is not what I'm talking about. It's the fact that we just now get into a self-serve, our own grocery store, and these people been coming here and they have multiple grocery stores and they're in several different areas. Nobody questions
but
that.
Wyatt, whenever this country does something outside of this country, right? Whether it be military or diplomatically, there are going to be a certain group of people from that country and the region that the United States, for whatever reason, could be guilt, are going to bring them back to America for their safety, right? In the 70s, Wyatt, when I was raised in Detroit, the west side of Detroit, the liquor stores and the grocery stores in my community were run by Middle Eastern, Chaldeans. I think that was their race.
Right.
But they were pushing out the little corner stores. But again, this is in 1970s, late 1960s, 1970s. So again, these were immigrants that came to our country, were given all these grants and loans, and they started businesses. You can go down, you can go from the 80s to the 90s. I don't care. You go to any Black community, you're gonna see
it hasn't changed.
That's right. Exactly.
Changed,
they're foreigners.
It has not changed. And
they're not rich white people running a gas station in Shaker Heights.
Nope.
Or
and crazy enough is they springboard from us. In other words, I've seen a lot of them start up like they would own a BP gas station in like down in like, you know, in the inner city, the one right, you know, on the close by, they would buy these marathons and these little and springboard. They would spend 10 years in it, build it up, get the money up, and then they would move, you know, they would leave it there and pass it on to another family member. And then they would go out to the Mason area in Ohio, or Westchester, Ohio, and they would open one up out there. And it's a much nicer, more corporate ran type of a store. Now they own all these little hole in the wall little gas stations down the way. See what I'm saying? And then they're able to buy other, you know, flagships, other franchises of that same thing. Right. And then they put the nice ones out in the other neighborhoods because the neighborhoods are nicer, right? But what a lot of us don't understand is we didn't know to get in Dunkin' Donut. If you look at them Dunkin' Donuts, bro, most of them are owned by those Indians, okay? But, you know, and now the Dunkin' Donuts have partnered with who? BPs and Shell gas stations, mostly Shell gas stations. Yeah. That is a move that they are making because they understand who their franchisees are. They understand that the Dunkin' Donut people and the Shell franchisees are the same person. It's like if it was you, say for instance, you brought one into the community, the inner city, to the black community, and you were say you had a restaurant and it was a rib joint, and let's say with your rib joint, with your soul food restaurant, what matches up with soul food restaurant? Let's just say you had something that we need. Say you wanted to get in the gas business. Well, of course, if restaurant and Wendy's were not Wendy's, but say restaurant and I'm trying to think of that gas station that's mixed with Wendy's. I think it's Thornton's, something like that, because I see it on the road a lot. Thornton's and Wendy's have a deal because they understand the franchise owners. Most franchise owners of Thornton's are the same people that own the Wendy's type stores. So they do these collaboration splits. You see what I'm saying? They put them in the same location. And that's just strategic. And it makes sense. What are we into as us? What are we into that we can say it's generally black owned and it's what the world always need, and not the world, it's what the country need, and it's something that we always get. What do we offer? Sorry, Drop, you good?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm listening.
What franchises are we part of that's an everyday spend the money, everyday usage thing? What do you say is black related in this country? And you say, well, you know, all those black guys, all those black people own all those Dunkin' Donuts. They own all those BP gas stations. They own all those what? What do we own that you can put our name on?
Well, it's two things, Wyatt, that you seem to forget that's always connected with black success. Sports and entertainment. Okay, so again, like I said, it's starting to change. It takes a long time, Wyatt, but these entertainers and athletes are now starting to, like you said, develop corporate sponsorships or corporate
that's different.
relationships.
That's different. That's different.
No, it's the same thing that you just said about the gas companies hooking up with the food companies and the owners of those companies. It's the same thing. Jordan was the blueprint.
What does he
have? Michael Jordan did, it was historic.
What did he do?
He was the black young man who went to college, North Carolina, and became a professional athlete, became very successful. But when you include him as part of black success, they're going to say, well, the only thing you can be in the hood is a rapper or entertainer or athlete.
Well, let me give you an example of what you're saying.
But that's true. We do have outstanding athletic ability.
Yeah, we got way more than athletic ability.
But I'm saying, Wyatt, the evolution. We're talking about societal evolution.
No, I get
it.
This
shit takes time.
No. Let me give you an example using your logic. Okay, but I agree with you. But I think it's failed in that space. I'll give you a perfect example. I'll take 2 or 3 people that we call stars. You can say Michael Jordan. I don't think Michael Jordan did anything for the black community overall. He didn't open up any doors.
Oh my God.
No.
Bro, okay.
Bro,
go ahead.
What did he do? He opened up the door. Hold on, bro. Let me just say this before I forget. I promise. he may have opened the door for other black guys to be able to, athletes to be able to get shoe deals through Nike because they seen how profitable it was and how influential basketball players were for the culture. He may have done that, but as far as corporate, it's how many what does he own that's a flagship corporate that other blacks can go into and invest $100,000 and open that up in the community? Name one thing that Michael Jordan owns. He's in NASCAR, bro. He's in NASCAR.
Well, the obvious thing that he owns is the Jordan brand.
Okay, but the Jordan brand ain't what's
that's the obvious. But that's the obvious.
Yes, but you know what? It ain't,
and that is worth billions, obviously.
Well, no, it's worth billions because it's affiliated with Nike. It's not
but
worth
it's
billions.
The Jordan brand.
Okay.
You act like that don't have legs.
It doesn't.
That don't have arms to reach out and connect.
It don't. It does not.
All right.
It can't even compare to Nike.
All right.
The Jordan brand was something that he was able to negotiate to be able, because he could have stopped, from my understanding of his deal with the Jordan shoe itself, what they call retros, he could have nixed that deal and stopped it. Like they could have not produced that shoe ever again based on how his deal was. He only gets a fraction of the money on those retros. I can tell you this right now, Drop. I'd bet $1 to a donut Michael Jordan make more money off of his shoes, his retro shoes on the Nike side than he makes on his whole brand of the Jordan brand itself. Kids, people don't wear Jordan brand stuff. They wear Jordans. They don't wear the Jordan brand stuff. I don't think it's as big as the Nike Michael Jordan.
Why?
No, it's not, bro.
Do you know how many universities have their athletic apparel contract with Jordan brand?
Yeah, I know, but you know they don't.
Okay.
But hold on.
So again,
wait, hold on, bro.
Again.
Hold on. I got.
Oh my God.
No. You brought up something. And you were about to go off on another thing. I just want you to understand.
Well, I was getting ready to give you multiple examples.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Multiple examples of professional black athletes who did not blow their money.
That ain't what we talking about.
No, because I'm just telling you, Wyatt.
But that's not
because
the point.
Because of the way the media portrays black people in general. The stories you see about black athletes are usually negative.
No, I don't care
because
nothing
Mr.
about that.
Mr. Rozier, NBA player, was pled not guilty today to them gambling charges. But you won't hear about a player who's starting a marijuana grow business in Seattle, Washington.
Why? See, that's the type shit right there. So, okay, if that's the business you want to hang your fruit
No, I just
on,
gave you one example.
Okay.
I could give you multiple examples of athletes who are in the beverage business, who are in the apparel business.
Like what?
What you mean, like what?
No, give me a beverage. Give me a beverage.
Sprite.
No, they don't own Sprite. That's a Coke product.
No,
they're just
I didn't say. I'm talking. Robert, why you talking about corporate partnerships?
They work for
them. And these athletes, I know for one.
So what job?
Jordan is a philanthropist. Listen,
bro.
Shaq is a philanthropist. Magic Johnson. I could keep going, Wyatt, of these former black athletes who are professional businessmen running businesses and influencing other black people that may be on their staff, on their board, or managers, or franchisees. I don't see why you're saying what you're saying.
I'm saying it like this. I'm going to say
this is just the beginning of it.
Let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. And I'm going to use the people that you named. I'm going to use the Magic Johnsons. I'm going to use the, who else was it? Magic is the biggest one. I'll use Magic Johnson as an example.
Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaq is probably bigger than Magic when it comes down to owning flagships of franchises. But now let's look at it like this. When was the last time? I can tell you a rapper who's done a little bit more than either one of those guys when it came down to spreading love of franchise ownership.
Yeah, Master P, Percy.
No, he talk about it, but he ain't been able to open up a product brand that he can sell franchises to. He ain't done that.
Yeah, okay.
But I will, and you know that to be true. But now let's look at somebody like Shaquille O'Neal. How many Papa Johns do you think Shaquille O'Neal owns and been able to sell off or open up into communities where now we are now buying them. See, Shaq don't own Papa John. He owns franchises.
Wyatt, that's okay. See, we're looking at it two different things.
Exactly.
Two different things.
You're looking at
see what I'm looking at. Wyatt, remember these are from 65-year-old black man lenses. Okay, from what I'm seeing, right? Starting with Jordan, who was born in the 70s. What I'm seeing from these athletes and their business ventures, their philanthropy, all that stuff is the influence that young black people, African, wherever they at, if you're labeled as black in this country, you see examples of other black people's success. And I'm telling you, that whole crab in the barrel mentality is not clicking with this younger generation. They see these successful influencers that are black. They see product promoted, major products promoted by people who have a podcast.
You are pushing a totally different argument than I'm talking about.
Yes, I'm talking about seeing success. But why? That's what you was talking about with the crabs in the barrel.
No, it's not.
Or people hating on other people's success.
That has nothing to do with what we was talking. This point is totally away from all of that. I'm talking about when you have black folks who own something and they just employ people versus putting them in a position to be able to own themselves. I got to give you this example so you can see for yourself the differences in what we're talking about. Magic Johnson has never been able to put a black person in an opportunity to be able to own the franchise. He might employ black folks, but he's not giving them an opportunity to own it because he don't own it. Okay, but now let me give you a difference of. Let me give you a different view here. You look at somebody like Rick Ross, the rapper, who had a 50 franchise deal, and how I know this is because I hate to talk like this, but you know I'm in the boxing game, right? So he has friends in the boxing industry. Okay.
Yeah, but that's public information. But go ahead.
Okay. Those guys in the industry of boxing, if they do their money right, Rick Ross has lined them up to be in a position where they can do a 5-store deal for themselves. That's the difference between him and Magic Johnson. He's not lining people up to own 5 AMC theaters. He's not doing that. Magic is taking care of Magic, where Rick Ross, the rapper, is saying, look, I'm employing my family, but I also got people that I know who, if they invest their money, I can get them a 5 in its wing stop. I know a guy right now.
Right.
Wait a minute. Drop.
Why?
Then you should understand we talking about two different things.
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
No, you're not. You've been trying to tell me something different. You trying to
No. It's just a misunderstanding, bro.
It's not a misunderstanding.
I'm talking about the whole influence and how some people will try to emulate that success or they'll try to destroy it because it's not them.
Bruh, influence is a good thing, but influence is like, it's not necessarily the number one. It's not the number one thing that'll get you over the goalpost. Sometimes you look, like for instance, the brother that took over, what's the seafood restaurant? Because I did a show on him.
Red Lobster.
See, that's different. That's someone that's been influenced to be able to be the CEO of a brand. Now, a guy like that, wait a minute, Drop. A guy like that can open up opportunities for guys like you and I to own franchises of Red Lobster. That would be strong in his position because he's the CEO. He could make that type of call. You understand what I'm saying? He could open up a minority ownership group like they did at Chrysler in like the 90s. They did, but I don't see Shaq and them doing stuff like that. They're not making it where people can open up a franchise Papa John in Cincinnati, Ohio that look like you and I. They're just opening up 50 to 100 stores and they then selling them. You see what that's what they doing, bro? They're not making it where others can piggyback off of what they've created, because look, Shaq is only there because he had the money from the NBA. Shaq wouldn't have been able to do all of that. Do you know how many people played in the Bengals in Cincinnati that could have had a pizza joint or something of that nature, and they just didn't do it? It wasn't offered to them. See, we've had opportunities to take over some of this stuff, but we don't have the people in place to be able to introduce it to us and put us in a position to take it, to get it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can.
Yeah.
It's selfish for me to have 50 Papa John pizzas and not put no black people on to be able to own any of them.
But see, why? See, again, this is the issue, right? How me and your generation gets kind of split right here, because Shaq is one man who had the courage and the knowledge to do what he did to become successful. Okay, now he can open up opportunities for other black folks, but that doesn't mean that there are black folks out there who are willing to sacrifice all the things that Shaq did.
Shaq didn't do nothing.
No, but you got to get my point. You can't just say because
bro, he's in there because
black people don't want to do whatever endeavor Shaq is involved in, that Shaq's influence is not relevant. It's very relevant. Do you think every building with Donald Trump's name on it, he owns it?
No.
Exactly.
But that's when you put on
your Tom Ford suit, right? Somebody who's into fashion, they're gonna say, because I support what Wyatt say, Wyatt don't be talking crazy. Wyatt must know something about good suits.
Yeah, here's the thing.
And Tom Ford, I ain't never really checked out Tom Ford, but I'm gonna check him out now because Wyatt is wearing a Tom Ford suit.
Bro, let me say, I have not disagreed with anything that you've said. I understand the power of influence. I understand it. Some of us,
and that's what we're talking about in the black community. No, you gotta remember, Wyatt, this shit only started. We only going back to the late 50s, Wyatt.
Bro, let me tell you.
That's how far we go back.
Let me tell you
talk about this.
Let me tell you something. I got an experience that I can share with you that I wish Mama Deb was here. She could tell you Wyatt on point on this one. Because look, I remember being in an industry when I was still in college, and I was working at a dealership. Okay, I was in finance, and me and one of my mentors, Paul White, were there at the same time. This brother owned a dealership, a Chrysler dealership. He was part of the MID program, bro. Okay, that was a minority development program. Okay, which means he was in the military, he retired, he's an older guy, and he was able to pay $50,000 to get a multi-million-dollar car dealership. Okay, now when he got that opportunity, me and P-Dub would just happen to be people that looked up to him, because here he is, a black guy with this opportunity. He surrounded himself with all white management. Okay, he surrounded himself with all the things that was making him look like he was, you know what I'm saying, part of the in crowd and all that old shit. He would go down to the Jeff Ruby's. He became friends with all the big shakers and all that shit, right? Let me tell you what he did. Now, in the MID program, you have to own the dealership for 5 years before, you have to work in it and be the operating manager, the owner for 5 years before it's actually yours. 5th year he get in. Guess what he does, bro? He has no experience in this industry. He just bought into the MID program. For y'all that never understood my point of view, there's one thing that Drop is talking about, and that is being influenced and being looking up to somebody and saying, I can do it too. But there has to be another piece to that puzzle, bro. There has to be somebody that's going to open the door for you. There has to be somebody that's going to allow you to have the opportunity to be able to capitalize on all the knowledge that you have. Mr. Chamblee was his name, okay? And what he did, it was in year 5, soon as he was eligible to sell that dealership and make $3 million off of his $50,000, the man did it. And did he sell it to a black man? Did he open up the opportunity for a black person to get a Chrysler dealership? No, he sold it to the highest bidder. I'm not mad at that. You know, I'm a capitalist. But the opportunity that he was given, he didn't share it. That's what I'm talking about, bro. And it's a ton of people like that. Shaq got all these franchises and all these businesses because of who he is and the money that he's able to do that shit. But Shaq is not sharing that same opportunity that he has. And there's people out there that have been working in that industry for 20 and 30 years that could run that store, and they better than just a district manager. They're better than just a store manager. they could own it and run it and share that opportunity to someone else as well. But see, what happens is they pick and choose who they want, and they know who's going to do it. How many business? Okay, it's easy for them to be philanthropists. It's easy for them to give money away. That's easy. That's the easy thing. How many of them have created opportunities that's going to become legacy in other people's family? He's Shaq. He is Magic Johnson. They'll be fine. Their kids will be fine. Their grandkids will be fine. But what about the opportunity that people who don't have the end game like they have? What about those folks, bro?
But see, Wyatt, I don't think it's really fair for you to say these things about Shaq, because for one, you're assuming. You don't really know for a fact.
No, I'm not assuming.
Right?
I'm not
assuming. Okay, all right. Well, that's obvious, right?
I'm not assuming.
Because again, you say that he does give money to people. You acknowledge his philanthropy.
I know what they do. I mean, I don't know him personally like that, but it's pretty much written up, and you know what they do. But there's also
right, exactly. But see again, like I said, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. There are some black people out there like that, but I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at them one way or the other.
Well,
but all I'm saying is, when a young black kid or a young teenager, whatever the case may be, they scrolling on their phone, right? And they see a story about black success. I think in 2025, the young black generation is seeing it different than us older people. Like the way I see it and the way you see it.
Why do you think it's different? I think
it's just different because of, how we were raised. We saw.
No, I think
we saw.
So you saying that older people that seen black people become successful didn't feel like they could be successful like the person that they see? That makes no sense to me. I think.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
Based on your logic, you're saying older people who were raised a different kind of way than these young folks are today. You're saying that older people could watch black folks become successful, and then they still had no hope. They didn't look at that as being influential. You saying that they didn't have influence?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
How are they
that's
different?
Not what I'm saying at all. It's not a black or white discussion here. Because why? I'm talking about societal evolution. I've been in the evolution longer than you have. I've seen more than you've seen to be able to influence and explain to you why it's happening the way it's happening now, and probably able to predict the way it's going to happen in the future if certain things don't change.
No, let me tell you why it's happening.
And I'm telling you, within the black community, things are beginning to change.
I hear you, and I don't disagree with you at all. But there's a huge difference between someone like Oscar Robertson out of Cincinnati and Shaquille O'Neal. Oscar Robertson was just as famous, if not more famous, during his basketball career as Shaquille O'Neal. The business opportunities were not given to Oscar Robertson like they were given to Shaquille O'Neal. That's the change. The opportunity.
Or it could be that Shaq is a better businessman. Magic is a better businessman than these other athletes that you may be familiar with who weren't quote unquote successful.
No.
By passing something down to the black folks.
No. Let me just say something to you. Mr. Oscar Robertson is a very astute businessman. He's a very smart guy. But he was never given the same type of opportunities of franchise ownership and all that type of stuff, big brand franchise opportunities, because of the era that he played in. Those opportunities were not even optional for him. Okay. Shaquille O'Neal came in at a time where it was profitable for him to be seen on the pizza box and name a pizza after him. That's the only reason why he has that opportunity. They're not giving him that opportunity because they love him. They're giving him that opportunity because he brings equity to the brand. That's it. Nothing more. He would be just like Oscar Robertson if he wasn't bringing, if people weren't past looking at, if people didn't want to see his big ass on a pizza box, Shaq wouldn't have them franchises. Just like they wouldn't have wanted to see Oscar Robertson back in that day on a pizza box. The only reason between that Shaq is on there is because people don't see it the same way. It's the opportunity, bro. That's what gave Shaq what he is. And here's the thing.
That's it.
None of that stuff was free, but it was discounted. See, they would give Shaq. They would give Shaq a better deal than they would give me on a franchise for Papa John because of his celebrity. Okay, that's it. It wouldn't be because of, my money spent just like his money. It's none of that. It's Shaq has equity. I mean, he has value with his name. So it brings something to the brand. That's why he do commercials. That's why they got a pizza named after him. All of that. I guess what we were saying, I don't disagree with not a word you say it. I just think that our arguments, our points were different. And I'm arguing my argument and you're arguing your argument. And we're trying, I don't know if we're trying to find common ground in the two different things.
But see why sometimes when you have a conversation with two smart people, sometimes things can be just misunderstood.
Oh, yeah, but I understood everything that you said.
And sometimes you try to persuade the person to understand what you're trying to say, and sometimes that may take multiple times.
We do this all the time. You and I do this
exactly.
all the time.
That's what I'm saying. Me and you do it. You and Fame do it. It's just a different conversation with me and you, and with you and Fame, as opposed to with you and Twin, or you and CK, or you and what's her name from Cincinnati? Your girl. I'm sorry, I forget her name. She go way back.
Tracy.
But anyway, all I'm saying, Wyatt, is, bro, the situation is changing in Black America. That's all I'm saying.
I don't disagree with that at all.
And again, it's because these younger people who were born in the 90s, the 2000s, they different. They just different, Wyatt. The same shit that used to make us feel a certain kind of way, they don't have no reference of it. None.
Okay.
They can't even relate.
I don't disagree with that. I think that there's still some being taught the old school way. I think there's still some. I think that it's just, I think if you're 40 and older, you probably still have some of that old school shit going on with you. But anybody, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, it's a breed. It's a breed. Okay, yeah, I get it. But I think that you're right. I think that some of these younger these kids can seek, they can peep opportunity. And I think there's
other than sports and entertainment.
Absolutely. Well, I don't, yeah. I mean, I think that's always been, I think we've always been able to do that.
Wyatt, your daughter is going and one of your daughters in the medical field, right?
No, they both of them.
They both. What year were they born?
Shit, 2000 and 2005. Y'all see that, Daddy?
Okay.
You see how fast I push that out? If it takes you longer than 2-3 seconds.
2005. My daughter was born in 1980, right? Raised in Detroit. She's a doctor. She's in the medical field. Mm-hmm. So you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you directly guided them into that field, but it was because of how they were raised, and they knew that they had opportunity to do whatever the heck they wanted.
They were raised that way. You're right.
You're right. Yeah. But again, like I said, it's changing. Societal evolution, Wyatt. It took us 70 years to get here.
I don't disagree with any of that. And I'm for it all. I love the fact, like Denise Davis just said, this kid he's trailblazing. She said, these kids. She said, Ice Speed, I think he's a Cincinnati kid, made $10 million in 5 years streaming. See, I've been talking about these kids and people can do whatever they want to do. I preach that every day on the show. That has nothing to do with what we were just talking. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just talking about, like, these kids they see it and they not on that bullshit. They ain't listening to that shit that they listen to all day, every day about read this and what about this, and they're not doing that. They're not doing that, and I get it, and I ain't got no problem with them being in a different zone. That ain't my argument. My argument is these franchise owners. What do we have? No one's answered that question yet. What do we as a culture, as Black folks, have that we tie our name to when it comes down to franchises in America? You got people of all different nationalities in this country, and a lot of them, even some that are Black and got dark skin, they have affiliations with flagships. They own hotels. The motel hotels off the expressway, some in your community. They own hotels. They own Dunkin' Donuts. They own gas stations. They own a lot of different shit. All right, collectively. What do you say that we own that can compete or on the same level of what they're doing? Name it.
Okay, Wyatt, what I'm saying is...
Name it, Drop. You're about to take it to a different... That's how the whole
but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
The way the media is, the way politics is, okay, there are certain things that Black people are involved in that you have no clue about. None, because it's not that traditional stereotypical profession.
Let me say something
because of the generational wealth.
Number one, drop. You're not talking to an individual that gets his information from the news or the media. I'm a business. You're not talking to somebody that relies on who believes that whatever they talking about on the media represents Black folks, or whatever they leave out. Don't say they're telling us our history, or they're not telling us our history. I learn different. All right, I don't learn from the media. I don't learn from news channels and shit like that. I need you to answer my question.
Well, again, like I said, I know there is a Black business owner that you're describing that's doing the things that you talking about.
Okay.
Which you said Shaq was not doing.
Wait a minute.
But I can't think off the top of my head why, because I'm not in that space.
I know, because you can't look, the question can't be answered.
I'm just not in a position to answer it.
Because the question can't be answered because we don't have a stem hold on one industry or in franchises. We don't have it. We don't have the hotel business. That don't mean we don't own any, but we don't have enough.
There you go.
That, see what I'm saying? It's not that we don't own, it's not that Black folks don't have a few McDonald's or Wendy's in this country, but you can't affiliate Black people to these franchises. You don't affiliate
because we just ain't been in the game long enough. Why?
Okay, but well, let me ask you something. Then how do you? Well, wait a minute.
Don't you know the history of Black folks?
Absolutely, a lot.
Shit.
Here's my thing. But you can affiliate yourself with Indians, and they don't advertise that Indians own Dunkin' Donuts. You can just tell when you go in. You don't.
But that's because
wait a minute, hold on. They don't advertise
government policies.
But wait a minute. They don't advertise
immigration policies.
They don't advertise that the Indians own BPs and Shell gas stations. They don't advertise that. Okay, you can see it.
But they advertise about government grants and loans.
Okay, okay. All of that is what it is, and that could it is what it is, right? But I just need you to answer the question. When you talk about a franchise of any in America, what do you associate Black folks to? What franchise in America do
None. I don't know why you keep talking about this franchise thing. I don't, because I know that Black people have not been in the financial position to develop the stronghold on the franchise and business.
If that's the case,
it's just not possible that level of success could have been achieved in a short period of time. Wyatt?
Then how did the Indians do it? They ain't been here as long as us.
That was through government immigration policies and treaties.
You're gonna have to tell these people that because they'll never believe you. They'll never believe you. Wait a minute, hold on. They'll never believe you because you still got people like Tracy who told me that the Asians got all them wig stores in our neighborhood because government gave them the money to do it. Now, I told her it didn't happen because I remember helping one that was ironically, ooh, this is crazy. I was watching Channel 19 News in Cincinnati, Ohio this morning, bro, and they were talking about a place that I had some interest in at one point. I used to have a retail at Northgate Mall in Cincinnati, Ohio, right? That was part of the buyout that I had. I had a franchise that, that bought us out. But I was listening to the story. Just so happens the lady that used to own this place called A&S in Cincinnati, Ohio, used to be over in Mount Healthy, I believe the area was. It was a wholesale place. Sold to a bunch of Black folks. They would sell hats and t-shirts and clothes and sweaters and all that stuff. I don't know if that's still there, but I watched them this morning drop. This is an Asian lady that owns it. Her daughter is Asian, but her son-in-law, her daughter married a white dude. He was on the news this morning, and they got a $5,000 prize for, I don't know why. I don't know what it was, but it ain't us. We've spent our money in that company for decades. The mom, the Asian lady, retired. This is the same person that I told y'all that I helped out that one time with the money. And I'm like, they didn't change the name. And you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of, they didn't change the name, moved over to the Northgate Mall, not inside the mall, but outside the mall. And they get a $5,000 gift from some, what is it, twin? It's by Northgate Mall, A&S. Yeah. But I don't know what the $5,000 gift was. It was from some type of store thing, and they gave him $5,000.
But it's from the government, right?
No, it was not from the government. It was not from the government. It was some type of money. If y'all seen that, please put it in the screen. I just want to let you know, bro, that not all of them got government assistance to be able to open their businesses. They did what they did.
Right, but they were probably members of a family who initially came over under that immigration policy, and they built the business. Don't you know about the donut dude?
Yes, I do.
From Vietnam?
Yes,
I think he's from Vietnam.
Yes, I do.
It's that kind of story. I worked with a guy who owned the cleaners, and he wanted to pass it on to his son, but his son wasn't having it.
Well,
because he was a younger guy.
He's
like, I don't want to run no damn cleaners.
I get it. I've seen that before.
So again, Wyatt, the only pushback really I'm giving you is the fact that in order to achieve what you're talking about, to where a black professional or whatever his status is purchases a franchise, grows to the point, and then he makes it available for black people to purchase franchise or whatever. We just ain't been in the business long enough. Maybe Shaq will eventually get there.
Well,
but he's just not financially or in the position yet.
Oh my God, Shaq,
to do it.
Oh my God. Okay, if that's what you want to think it
is. I know. I mean, Jordan. You know how much Jordan's net worth is?
It don't matter to me. I don't care how much nobody's net worth.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean
right. It's all good. It don't matter.
I don't mean it like that. I mean, I only care about those that are in a position that I know are spreading that type of wealth into other different areas. If they're not doing that, bro, and they just getting rich on their own, I'm not mad at them, but I just don't really.
I mean, why? What are you going to do if the government sends money to Cincinnati for a program for entrepreneurship, right? 15 slots, but you got to attend schools, you got to take classes, you got to work for it, basically. They ain't just handing you money. But at the end of that work, you get a franchise or whatever. And you're in the community trying to sell it. But you got nobody wanted to sign up for the program, Wyatt. So whose fault is that? Is that the program's fault?
No, I mean, they do
Whose fault is it if you don't have the people within that community that this is intended for that want to do what you're trying to give to them?
No, I know that's a fact of what you're saying. That happens a lot. A little bit more than I'd like to admit to. But I do know that there's a bunch of programs out there. There's a lot of different ways that you can rev up capital. There's a lot of things that you qualify for, and sometimes they have to send the money back because there's not enough participation. I know that happens. But I don't know how that's relevant in what I'm saying with people that are in franchise positions. I mean, you answered the question, so I'm off.
Yeah, I answered this question. I just don't think it's been, you haven't given them enough time, Wyatt.
Oh, they've had enough time.
No, because it takes time to build generational wealth. You know it, and I know it.
It doesn't.
Because can you name the two wealthiest black families in America?
I can't name them off the top of my head.
Exactly, because they're not athletes or celebrities.
Well, that's not necessarily true. It's just that it's not what I don't quite do that. I mean, I can name you some I can name you some billionaires.
You know it's some rich black families in America. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? The only reason why I can name white billionaires, I can't name an everyday white billionaire, but I can name one that has a brand. That's the only way I know that they white billionaires. Bill Gates, but I don't know Stephen Johnson from Nebraska who's a billionaire because he's not okay. He would have to be a celebrity or something too. He have to be a brand owner too. I don't just know a billionaire because he's an everyday guy. I don't really make it my business to know that.
And that's all I'm saying about your whole point of view. It could be some out there we just not aware. You're just not aware of it. And it's no direct reflection on the black community one way or the other. For that successful black person or that black person in the community who don't want to put in the work, don't want to put in the sacrifice, don't want to put in the time to successfully run a business.
Oh, I mean,
okay. So it ain't as easy as you try to put it.
What?
To be a successful business person.
I've never said
because the one thing you need is freaking capital.
Well, I've never said it's easy. I don't know where easy comes
exactly.
from. I said
well, you was trying to say that about Shaq.
Oh, it was easy for Shaq.
Now you changing up. See, I ain't gonna call you on it.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. There's a huge difference between Tyrone in the hood being a successful businessman and somebody like Shaq with $400 million. Shaq got enough money to be able to make a mistake. Oh, bro, Shaq gets more opportunity.
It's gonna start sounding to some of the people in the chat that you hating on Shaq.
I'm not hating on Shaq. It's a pure fact that someone with $400 million has a better opportunity of being successful than somebody that starts with $4 grand. There's no doubt. That's just common sense. You can make
it's not common sense.
Okay, let me give you a perfect example. Magic Johnson failed at his first business adventure. Did you know that?
No.
Well, most people do. The difference with Magic Johnson opened up what they call, it was like a Dick's, okay, and it was out in the West Coast. I'm surprised you didn't know. Magic Johnson, I said Magic, didn't I? I didn't say Michael. I said Magic, right?
Yeah, you said Magic.
Okay, Magic Johnson started a store like Dick's, and he made a huge amount of mistakes. He was his own buyer. He was his own principal. He did all the stuff on his own because he thought he could do it. He thought he was a businessman that can actually make those type of decisions. He went in there at the trade shows and bought everything that he loved, everything that looked good to him. And when he got it into the stores and they were doing the grand opening, people came in because it was Magic Johnson's store, but they didn't like the goods. It wasn't matching the trends. You know, the hip hop era was coming in. He had a bunch of shit that was like sold at the stadium instead of stuff that the streets wanted or people out here, regular folk wanted. He made a bad business move. But see, Tyrone, who starts with $5 grand, he can't make that same mistake because he'll go through his 5,000 or 10,000 so fast and he can't recover. He's not Magic Johnson and he don't have a $400 million head start either. And then he don't have the same type of influence that Magic Johnson can recover from by being Magic Johnson.
What about the dude who started FUBU?
Okay.
That happened right around the same time as Magic Johnson's business ventures. Dude came from nothing. I'm just saying it can't be done. Wait a minute, hold on.
We got to get away from what can and can't be done. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about somebody having an advantage over another person. You can't, Damon John, that's a different situation. He made, and his family made sacrifices that most people wouldn't do. And here's the other thing. He had connections that helped him get successful. Nobody can be successful on their own. He didn't get FUBU out, bro. He was failing. They were dropping. They were bleeding water. It was a dump fire for a while. The one thing that got them over the hump, I know that story, is when LL Cool J did that Gap commercial for him. Well, it wasn't for him. But when LL Cool J put that FUBU hat on in that Gap commercial, FUBU blew up. If LL would have never done that and wore that in that commercial and wore it on his show that I forgot the name of the show, but he was Marion or something like this on this TV show, FUBU wouldn't have been what it was. It would have never hit surface. They were out in LA, they were out in Vegas doing those shows all the time and couldn't get orders. They couldn't get any traction.
So that furthermore proves my point.
Here's the other thing. Dame, his mother, she put her house up. She put her house up for his dream. These are different. These are different things. Because
they believed in Damon John.
Well, it was a little bit different. She didn't put her house up. Wait a minute. She didn't put her house up until the momentum came. She didn't put her house up at the beginning. She gave him 2 years without going to college. She gave him 2 years to live in the house and to work on his dream. And if he didn't get an order and they wasn't looking like they were going to do something in that 2 years, he promised her that he would go back to school and he would do what he needed to do. Come year 2, when they was packing up and folding all the clothes and saying, hey, this shit didn't work out, here come LL doing what he did and brought him off of life support, bro, which is a great story. But it took that type of somebody like a LL to be able to do that. It took somebody
when you say
like a Shaquille O'Neal to open the door for somebody.
I know, but when you say FUBU, it's going to be about Damon John, not about all these other elements that you said helped him to reach that point. But one of my sayings is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
I agree with you.
So what I'm saying is, Wyatt, all I'm saying, bro, it's about, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the fight in the dog. So it's a lot of people that are successful that come from the hood who don't have all the backing, all the support, all the recognition, and all the success and fame, and they still get it done.
Yeah.
And all I'm saying is sometimes their inspiration comes from these other Black people who are in spaces that they've never seen or been told that Black people don't belong.
Nobody's disputing that, but I can tell you this right now. I know 10 friends. I can name 10 people right now that was inspired by FUBU, all started clothing lines, and they now some work at Walmart, some doing different shit. Okay. It don't always, the influence is not what it always takes. It's somebody.
And some of them, they're not.
Right. And so what I'm saying, we're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just saying that Shaquille O'Neal having 50, that's just a false equivalence. You can't compare somebody like Shaquille O'Neal, who the difference between myself and Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, Ohio, a local homegrown pizza place would give him a franchise because he's affiliated. Well, they would make me pay $250,000 for mine. You see the difference?
Well, I mean,
do you understand
when I saw
the
that
difference
commercial, Wyatt, I think it's a cereal commercial with him and Justin Jefferson. I'm like, that reminded me of that Popeyes commercial that Jerry Rice did, where he wore a helmet and it had like a piece of chicken in the face mask. It's like, I was just surprised that he did that type of commercial.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it stemmed from. Maybe there's a longer play down the end. You know what I mean? It might have had nothing to do with that commercial. It might have had some type of stake in the company. Maybe franchise coming down the round. I don't know. But I'm just telling you that a celebrity has a better shot at getting in the door because of who they are, not because of how much money or how intelligent they are. It's not that. It's not that. Most of them are endorsing a product, and they know, the brand knows that their endorsement and their participation in that brand is more valuable than their knowledge. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, hey, bro, before I go, because I was looking at, I think it was the other day on my timeline, you had a show for 4 hours, Wyatt. What the hell was you talking about for 4 hours?
It might have been yesterday.
I think it was. Yeah, it was yesterday. I
wasn't talking about nothing, bro.
Or were you arguing with people for 4 hours?
No, I wasn't talking about nothing, bro. It's just I had been gone for a couple of days or whatever. I've done some 3-hour, 4-hour shows before, bro.
Oh, I know, bro. I can't figure out how you do it, but anyway, I guess that's what makes you who you are, Mr. Wyatt Live. And bro, your thumbnails are they professionally shot, or are you shooting them yourself?
I'm shooting them myself. You like
well,
that,
bro, I gotta give you props, man. Those shots look professional.
Well, it's coming from my new equipment that's coming in 2026. It's arrived, and I'm just testing it out and doing some things. So yeah, we'll see.
All you gotta do is just add a caption. It could be one word. Cause see, you smart. You got a vast vocabulary. Just put one word to give people an idea what the Wyatt Live show is going to be about that episode.
Okay.
Because it's all I see is the picture and then Wyatt Live. That's it. Okay. Every single one.
Right.
But all the videos next to you and around you, there's words somewhere.
All right. Well, look, for 2026, like you and I had a conversation the other day, about a week or so ago. For 2026, I'm going to step it up a little bit.
Oh, I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. So I'm going to hang up. I'm going to listen for a little while longer and just see if anybody else calling in. But
you might as well, look, you're the last call. I'm done. I'm 3 hours on this one here. All right. So I can't go back to back. I'm gonna say my farewells and my goodbyes right after you hang up. And I do appreciate you calling in, bro. You're always great conversation. It's just we always tend to, get to the same place at the end. You know what I mean? But
yeah, we're like-minded, but we're just different ages, different age group. I was born in 1960.
Yeah, and y'all old cats always think y'all gonna tell. That shit go away after a certain time. Like you can't keep being big. Like you ain't gonna son me when I'm 50 years old. You
Bro,
can't
I
do that shit.
I ain't never talked to you like that.
Well, no,
I ain't never said no shit like respect your elders.
No,
Don't you
wait
know
a
who you
minute.
talking to?
Hold on. Don't get it twisted. Sonning somebody is not always disrespectful. But at a certain, it's almost like when I was like yesterday, I told a story about my nephew, and I'm like, he's so much younger than me, and I was trying to tell him how to deal with the police out here, and I was lightweight nephewing him, sonning him a little bit, but I wasn't being disrespectful. At a certain point, I can't have that same conversation with him being 45 now. I can't have that same, him being 42 or whatever. I can't have that same conversation. He's been around long enough now that if he don't get it by now, he ain't gonna get it. Right. So but now I'm telling you, you're a little bit older than me by maybe a decade. Bro, it's hard to son a 50-year-old. That's all I'm telling you. I've been around the moon a few times just like you. You feel me?
Yep. It's hard to just keep your mouth shut and just say, hey, let grown folks, handle their own business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I ain't trying to because they go like, man, this ain't 1960.
Right. And that was his thing with me. It was, I was just being an old man when I was telling him how to maneuver through this, with the police and stuff. But he learned.
Right.
He lived and learned.
Yeah, I mean, and you see it. You see what's out there in these spaces, Wyatt.
Yeah.
These young people, black people of color, whatever you want to call them, they're going to be all called black folks. So it's just the mindset is changing, and it's just going to take a little while. You'll probably see it when you get old like me. You'll probably start to see it.
You don't think I see it now?
Well, I think you see it.
I bet you there's more.
But you don't really watch it a lot.
No, I
because
don't.
you're still older on the other issues.
No, I don't make it my business, but I can clearly see that there's more black young millionaires than ever before, and there has to be a reason for that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of common sense. That's clear to me.
They ain't from sports and entertainment.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm watching them do e-commerce. I'm watching them do a whole lot of stuff that has nothing to do with people knowing even who they are. You got people.
You wait for AI, Wyatt. You wait for AI. It's just messed up that certain things with a political connection get connected to black folks. Remember the legal marijuana stuff? Mm-hmm. And they was like, oh yeah, black people should be able to own the weed.
Yeah. But
you ain't hear nobody saying how black people could benefit and prosper from doing AI.
Right. I mean, we know
they try to get rid of that shit.
Right. Well, that's kind of like my point of us getting into flagships and being known for a certain space. We're known for more of a we're more known for being the consumer of a certain product versus
there you go, Wyatt.
Damn,
right there, bro, right there.
But that's where I've been the whole time.
I know.
Versus being the franchise owners or the owners of those brands. We've always been more of a consumer. It's hard to be, when you're spending the money and you giving the money away. It's hard to get, it's hard to gain traction of ownership when you continuously find yourself to be, it's a thing that I believe has a lot to do with confidence and things of that nature, self-esteem. When you always have to buy a bunch of stuff to make people think that you're rich and you're famous, all that old shit. I heard this old guy. I gotta go drop, but I want you to hear this. I heard a guy, and I'm sure everybody heard this clip. It made so much sense. He said, I never understood. He said, I would rather carry a plastic bag with $4,000 in it than a $4,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. That makes sense? Drop, I gotta go, man. I appreciate you coming.
All right, Wyatt. Peace out, bro. Shout out to the chat.
Peace and love to you, brother. That's Drop Squad 52. He came in for about an hour. He let us have it. I gotta go on that note because I have a 5 o'clock and I have to get myself ready for it. And I just want to share I appreciate everybody that's here, whether we agree or disagree. It's all gravy. It's all good. Peace and love to everybody, man. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same place, same time, 1 o'clock right here on Wyatt Live. Peace and love to you all.
I'll always be there for you. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
I love you, baby.
I'm at the Uptown on Dykeman, the Eichten, talking that how she only dealt with businessmen. Niggas bagging joints, money off and on the books. The ones who stand firm like ain't nothing shook about them. I doubt them cats waiting for me, you know them niggas, them big dudes across the street. She said, yeah, they from over on Mayfair, bullets from out of nowhere. Told her stay there and duck down. I hit the ground but managed to pull the piece out. This bitch over there with them pointing the chief out. They want beef out here, they gon' get it in the worst way. I'ma show them how black play, roll the dice. Fucking with me's like snake eyes, I break guys. Sit back and watch my cake rise. It's all about the Benjamins, true, that be the motto. Ran out of ammo and started throwing bottles, running, and I ain't looking back for shit. Crooked ass bitch today, I get you back for this.
I love you, baby. No, you don't. You drive me crazy. That's right. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby. Come on. I love you, baby. No, you don't. You drive me crazy.
Yo, since the last altercation, I've been on the street. See honey at the club every week and I speak. I'ma rock that ass to sleep before I strike. I ain't know the real deal until last night. How one of them brothers was locked with Babe Bro. Used to call my crib from C74. Kick rhymes over the phone for hours. He had the jack. Babe Bro told him, you wanna get money, see black when you get home. We never had chance to get up and wouldn't have. If it's gonna left me hit up, he'd explain how his whole crew was slapping honey. Besides all that, she owed them cats a lot of money. Funny how it's a small world, baby girl. You's about to get fucked with no jail. I'ma sit back and watch this cake finish baking and plan your extermination. Word.
I love you, baby. No, you don't. You drive me crazy. That's right. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby. Come on. I love you, baby. No, you don't. You drive me crazy. That's right. I'll never betray you. I love you, baby.
It took a while to peep your style, Miss I being working low profile, single house in Staten Island, in Manhattan. Wow, them same cats you sent to get me, boo, is on their way to get you, fucking with you. That small time crack dealing nigga, he a bitch too. They gon' bust his shit too, shit's real. You think you gon' set me up and get away scot-free without some type of injury? Nah, kill it. I'ma flip the script on you. Same thing you did to me, I'ma do it to you. Who knew she was the female Rambo? Fill one of their chests with foam soon as he came in the door. Lights was out, smoked all they mans in. In the end, she had to be the last bitch standing. Not for long, the bar 44 strong, just like that, she was gone. Now it's over. Assuming I go back to my everyday life of a rich millionaire just rocking the mic. Gotta pause and think about honey, no doubt. And admire how that chick went out. Yeah.